Michigan at Michigan State. This rivalry began back in 1898. The era of the leather helmet disappeared, but the Battle of Michigan intensified under Duffy and Bo. It's a rivalry with controversy, like Michigan's Desmond Howard being tackled in the end zone on a two-point conversion that would have won the game, but no penalty. And moments of brilliance, like Charles Woodson's one-handed interception a year ago. Today, Michigan State is counting on Cedric Irvin against its ancient foe. This is Michigan. This is war. Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the support troops are ready for this one. You choose your colors and you back your army. There is no middle ground on this day in this state. It's either Michigan or Michigan State. Good afternoon, welcome everybody. I am Brent Musburger. Well, a season hangs in the balance here today because both of these schools are off to very disappointing 1 and 2 starts. But this is the beginning of the Big Ten campaign, and a winner can take flight after Ohio State. Fresh hope, if you will. But for the loser here, folks, it is going to be pure agony. And it's going to take an entire season to restore credibility if you lose and you're Michigan or Michigan State. Busy day in college football. Let's go to New York, and here's John and Todd. You are looking live at the University of Michigan Wolverines. Today. Welcome back, everybody, with Dan Fouts. I'm Brent Musburger. Dan, you expect the unexpected on Rivalry Day, but my friend, you were up at East Lansing. You watched these Spartans. Marcus Ray has been suspended from Michigan. Will they attack it? What's the plan up there?
Well, Brent, after seeing that Ray is out and the fact that Michigan's pass defense has been terrible this year, 70% completions against them, look for the Spartans to open up their offense today with 4 wide receivers, featuring 6'6" Plaxico Burress. He should be a big player today. Now for Michigan, replacing Marcus Ray will be Tommy Hendricks. He's their leading tackler. He's going to be called upon to make tackles in the secondary and at the line of scrimmage. But if Michigan State goes to 4 wide receivers, that'll prevent Michigan from crowding that line. You know what that means. That means that Cedric Irvin could have a huge day.
The great one, number 33, scored on a fake field goal against Michigan a year ago. What will it be today? We're about to find out.
I'm Jack Arute with Michigan State Spartans head coach.
Jack,
Coach, what did you say to your charges, Dick?
Well, I told the players this is an opportunity for competitive greatness. And I think what that means is you do your best when your best is most needed. This is the kind of game you all came to Michigan State to play, and it could be a great game for both sides.
Brent, for Nick Saban, it's always about motivation, and today he doesn't need to give these guys a lot of it.
You have that right, my friend. As the officials, our referee today, David Whitvote, spreads his 7-man crew out, and we will be set to go. Now, the Spartans won the toss, and they have deferred. Michigan will go on the attack first. So Paul Ettinger, number 1, trots out for the Spartans. He's from Lakeland, Florida, and the junior will put the ball on the tee. And back deep is Anthony Thomas, and alongside him is number 22, Kevin Bryant, a wide receiver who's going to give it a crack here in the big house today. There's Kevin. Anyway, folks, could be a factor. It is humid out. Line drive, Thomas from the 1-yard line. Cut left. Smashes close to the 30-yard line. Nice return, and we check in on our Chili's starting lineup for Michigan. You just saw him return to kickoff. He's going to be the go-to running back today, number 32, Anthony Thomas. Now, we expect Michigan to counter with 4 wide. Streets, Knight, Terrell Walker, but Jeremy Tooman needs more catches. He's a very talented tight end. Steve Hutchinson returns from an injury, but he'll go to guard today, leaving Steve Frazier at center for the Wolverines, who come out with a package now that includes 3 wide receivers and 2 men to the left side, and Clarence Williams opening in a 1-back. Brady fires Kapumbo, and they wave it off on that far side. You can see him wave it off against this defense. Keep an eye on 91 Robert Smith. Came alive against the Fighting Irish. It's a basic 4-3. A lot of tackles funneled into the arms of middleman Mike Austin. Now, Amp Campbell is gone, but strong safety Story Canoe steps in, and that hit was delivered by number 29, Lamar Marshall. And here is Robert Smith. He flops over to the weak side of the formation, and immediately Michigan goes after him. They run the toss with Williams. Daylight, out of bounds, near side at the 34-yard line. Austin in pursuit.
And as far as offensive coordinator Mike DeBoard and his goals today, the biggest one is right here, this avoiding 3rd and long. So far, Michigan is only averaging 6 yards per pass attempt. So if they get in 3rd and long, they're in trouble offensively.
Well, here is 3rd and 5. They were hoping to be short of that, and of course a substitution package comes in late. It's Terrell, and Michigan spreads the field with 4 wideouts. The 2 freshmen are out there now from the shotgun. A very tardy substitution. Brady intercepted. Picked off by number 9, Eric Morris, the junior from Oak Park. That is Brady's 3rd interception of the season, and it gives the Spartans less than half a field to go for a score.
Here's it, Brady in the shotgun, and he's going to force this ball in. He's got great protection, a lot of time to find an open receiver. Unfortunately, he finds one who's covered by the underneath coverage of Eric Morris. If Morris doesn't make that play, it looks like Ronaldo Hill is in position to make the play.
1st down and 10 as Bill Burke, the left-handed quarterback, comes out. Cedric Urban directly behind him. 4 down linemen for the Wolverines. That short drop, flip it out wide, put it in Burris's hands for the first time, and he sprints against that soft corner. Michigan without Charles Woodson. Let's take a look at our lineups here. Garrett Gould doesn't handle the ball, but watch him as the lead blocker when he's in the game for either Urban or, of course, the 4 wideouts used right away. Plaxico with his first reception of the game. And Paul Harker, a freshman, forced in because of injuries. See if he can hold up at that guard spot. A good first down, a 7-yard gain. Leaves him 2nd and 3, and here's the first down. Urban angling to the left, just short of the 35-yard line, and Andre Weathers coming up to the corner to make the stop. For the Wolverines, they have been under attack defensively, so Eric Wilson will try it on the inside, 280-pound defensive lineman. Sam Sword, slowed by injuries, the senior linebacker, back on the inside. And Dwayne Patman replaces the suspended Marcus Ray. Wilson gets down on that defensive line. Leroy McFadden checks into the backfield for the Spartans on 1st down. Gets the carry, steps through behind the left side of the line for a couple of yards, and Sword. Now, to give you an idea about this rivalry, you can see the last time they played with losing records or unranked, but go to the last one, folks. Dan, circle that right down there at the bottom. 11 turnovers and a none for Michigan, and a moment ago, a turnover for the Wolverines. Is it an omen? We're going to see. Not a very good first down.
It could be an omen, Brent, because of those 11 turnovers, 10 of them were interceptions.
Now to 2nd down and 8, and Irvin is back in the line. Gould comes in. Shotgun look. He's going to throw from it. Dropped. Burris had another soft corner. Whitley was off him. Dan, your feeling about these corners way off as we look at Tranquil's goals?
Well, Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator, said he wanted to hunt and peck a little bit, uses different type of formations and personnel. I think the key one here is if Michigan State can get 4+ yards on 1st down, that gets Tranquil into a play-calling rhythm in normal down and distance situations, and that makes the entire offense a lot more confident when the coach isn't searching for plays to be successful.
Well, Burris hurt a little bit with that drop pass that time. It leaves the Spartans in 3rd and 8. They must reach the 25-yard line for a 1st down. Burke fires for it, short of the short of the first down. Herb Haygood pulling it in. And it's going to be either a field goal attempt here, or they'll go for it and load up with tight ends. I see the field goal kicker coming out, Paul Ettinger. Now remember, Saban faked a field goal last year, but I see all the personnel jogging off the field. They hit a man leaving after third down. Burke, the quarterback, is the holder. They just need a center. That helps. He dashes onto the field late. And here comes the field goal. The ball will be put down. It's a 43-yard attempt for Paul Ettinger. Nick Saban opting to try to get on the board first if he can on the road. He's got it. A professional decision by Nick Saban. If you get a chance to strike first on the road, go for the points. That's good coaching. But what led to it was this turnover. And it was Tom Brady throwing his third interception of the season, and the junior safety, Morris, with the intercept. I'm out. So we're back, and you can see over on the Michigan State sideline, expecting a tough, close football game. Saban electing on 4th and 1 to put points on the board right away. And here's the man who did it, Ettinger, with the kickoff. Thomas back at the goal line, and a short, high kickoff to the left. Got it. Beautiful hang time on that kickoff to the 2-yard line. And a fine return. 40, 45, free, cross midfield to the 46. Anthony Thomas, the freshman of the year, with a spectacular return down the left sideline behind Scott Ernsberger's block.
One guy you want to keep your eye on is the kicker, Paul Ettinger. This is a great kick, high and all the way inside the 5-yard line. But watch number 1. All of a sudden, he's got to make the tackle, and he's not going to do it. Great run by Thomas here as he gets all the way to the safety. Plaxico bursts and steps out of bounds.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines, and Brady opens up from the shotgun. Tooman, penalty flag is down. A penalty flag thrown by umpire Jim Augustine, indicating holding in the middle of that offensive line. He's discussing it now with Whitvote, his referee, and I'm sure we'll get a preliminary sign here of a holding call by the umpire. Oh, we've got it still against Michigan. So let us break away for a moment with the Solomon Smith Barney remembers. Success is earned. 1968, Michigan State leading Michigan. Michigan fans remember this. Dennis Brown looking for Jim Mandich, scrambling to the right. He's got his big receiver downfield. 53 yards for the score. Michigan goes on to win it 28-14.
Important for Brady to get his tight end involved today. The tight end position for Michigan's only got 6 receptions on the year, and Tooman's a huge player.
This is an enormous penalty from the spot of the foul. It takes it all the way back to the 24-yard line, leaving Michigan with a 1st and 32. Their second big mistake of the game. Clarence Williams in behind Aaron Shea, and he battles back for 3 or 4 yards. But you saw the indication of the illegal block, a major penalty, an infraction against the Wolverines that time.
Chris Kosh's goals as the defensive coordinator is to keep Michigan under 3 yards per rush. Now, the big thing is this red zone down here. Right now, Michigan State is giving up 100% in the red zone. 7 touchdowns and 2 field goals.
2nd down and 28 for Brady. Blitz, got an open man. Number 85 is Marcus Knight, and for Marcus, that's his 15th catch of the year. Sori Canoe in pursuit, and it gives the Wolverines a chance here on 3rd down.
And you know, last week against Eastern Michigan, Michigan opened up with 10 straight runs. Different story against the Spartans today. Good pass protection again for Brady. His outlet is Marcus Knight. And this play, the catch and run, well, you see the coach pointing at the down marker there.
It leaves the Wolverines with a 3rd and 7. after the 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Got it. First down. Put it back in Knight's hands. Number 85, the junior wideout. And that is coming the hard way for that first down.
Well, after the penalty, Brent, you said it was first and a mile. And to be able to convert it in 3 plays, Brady's going to go to his number 1 receiver, Marcus Knight. This guy has really come on. That could have been a penalty right there, grabbing the face mask.
Wide open Michigan attack in the early going. From the 42, Brady drops it off, and Tooman can't get the handle. No one to blame. They tried to put the ball in his hands, and he dropped it. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, as we watch these early opening plays on offense, I'd have to say that Tom Brady is doing exactly what his offensive coordinator, Mike DeBoard, wants him to do. He told us a couple of days ago he wants to give Brady confidence. The way to do that, give him short, easily makeable pass plays. So far, that's what Brady's done.
Yeah, but the receivers have to hold on. Tooman passed up a 5-6-yard gain that time. He was wide open. Going with the 1 running back. Here comes the end around. Quarterback leading Knight. Knight cuts inside. Penalty flag is thrown by the linesman on the far side. There's a penalty as he made his cut. And Tom Brady, the junior quarterback, leading the play as a blocker. And the penalty again against Carr's Wolverines.
Real slow developing reverse that time, and the guys out in front of the ball carrier really trying to hold their blocks, and literally that's what they did.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
That is 25 yards in penalties on this series after a 45-yard kickoff return, and Carr furious about that call on the sideline. And the official there trying to calm him down, field judge. That field judge is Denny Friend.
The call was on the other side of the field. The official he was yelling at had nothing to do with it.
Second down and 17. They faced a 1st and 32. Middle's open. Tooman hangs on. Close, but just short of a first down. And this time, Tooman gets open as Sori Canoe makes the stop for the Spartans.
And the one thing we're seeing today is great pass protection from both teams, but both defensive lines are absolutely terrible at getting at the quarterback this year. Michigan only has 2 sacks, Michigan State 3. If they can get Tooman going, that opens up their wide receivers, and that'll let Brady throw the ball down the field.
3rd and 1, and they offset Jackson. Now they bring him in motion. He'll take you to the play. Play fake. Brady's going to throw. Hit from behind. A gamble fails because coming from the backside was Sean Wright.
Is Sean Wright, and he's coming on the blitz, and he comes free, and he really cuts the corner sharply and then drives his helmet right into Brady's back.
Now Michigan will attempt to equalize it with a Jay Feely field goal, and this is going to be a 51-yarder.
He's got a 51-yarder earlier in his career.
It looks long enough. Got it! A 51-yard field goal by senior Jay Feely. Michigan State, the way it ought to be. Deadlocked at 3, a field goal apiece. 22-yarder for State and a 51-yarder for Michigan. 10 minutes to go in the first quarter with Jack Arute. Dan Fouts, I'm Brent Musburger. Nice to have you along with us. And here is the freshman sensation, Hayden Epstein, kicking it off, and he faces one of the more dangerous return men in the Big Ten. Here he is, number 33, Mr. Do-Everything, Cedric Irvin. He has returned 2 kicks, his long for the year, 23 yards. Let's see if they try to keep it out of his hands and give Gary Scott a crack. Epstein booms it to the breeze. It'll be Scott, and Irvin is the lead blocker. The middle for Scott, spun down at the 26-yard line. Let's send you to New York for an update on John Saunders. John.
Brent, this is your Burger King update. Wisconsin and Northwestern. J.J. Standering trying to get the punt off. Takes a little too much time. Tim Roska picks it up. His third career block punt. Brian Marks gets the touchdown. 8 yards, 7-0. Wisconsin on top.
Sean, keep an eye on the Badgers. They're the dark horse of the Big Ten this year. That team could do a lot of damage before the season is over. Got a great running back, experienced quarterback, an outstanding coach. 3-3 the tie here. The deep set is Irvin. He's rushed only once. Haygood, the motion wide out. Here's his second carry. Strung out. And number 99, Jake Freisinger, a sophomore with a future, brings him down.
Well, Jim Herman's got to be happy with that effort there, because number one on his goals is kick the stuffing or something else out of Cedric Irvin. That's because Irvin had 20 carries last year against Michigan, and he had 9 receptions. He is their go-to guy.
They held Irvin to a pair of yards. As you see him, he has to be happy. 2 carries, 8 yards. Herman's defense stopping Irvin in the early going. Spartans come back with him. Irvin cuts and slams out to the 31-yard line. Picked up maybe 3 yards that time. So the Michigan defense, what a difference a year has made. Look at this, Dan.
These are unbelievable numbers. We've only played 3 games so far, but when you look at the points per game, that jumps out you. That, of course, is in all of 97, but that still, that average is unbelievable.
Now Renas, the nose man. They're looking for leadership down in that defensive line. Will it be Renas? 3rd down and 5. Shotgun Burke. Swing pass outside, and the fullback touches the ball. Garrett Gould. They got to give it to him more often. How long has it been since Garrett Gould has touched the football, Dan?
How about 11 games ago, back in '97 against Minnesota? He is referred to as a guard in the backfield, and I think this effort gives you an indication of his strength. Because when he catches the ball, he's still about 5 or 6 yards short of the first down. He's going to run over Tommy Hendricks, then take a shot at Whitley, and then make the first down. Yeah, get him the ball more often, Brent, just like you said.
First down and 10. Now they come back with Cedric, and he is stopped. They're finding it jammed up. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Ford Taurus. Ford, built to last. Solomon Smith Barney. Let's get to work. Success is earned. And Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. And Burger King, if you ask us, it just tastes better. Halftime, burger and a beer. Sounds pretty good to me. 2nd down and 8 now, 7:50 to go. We're tied at 3 here in the opening quarter on a warm, sunshiny day in Ann Arbor. There's that option look, and it was just enough to break Irvin wide open. 35-30 and out of bounds. When there are new outside linebackers, they're apt to take a fake like that. They crashed in, and Burke pitched late. A beautifully designed play by Tranquil.
Well, this is a check with me by Burke. He sees there's no safety in the middle of the field because they had trips to the right side. And then Burke gets a great block on Weathers on the outside. And this is a type of big play that will destroy a defense's confidence. But if Burke can continue to make the right call at the line of scrimmage, he can do that all day.
Now a 40-yard run for Irvin, attacking for the 21. And they bring in the backup tailback, Lloyd Clemens. He's averaging better than 6 yards a pop. So, folks, it's not a chopped liver substitute coming on for the big man here. Cedric Irvin, 5 carries, 53 yards here against Lloyd Carr's defense in the opening quarter.
And the concern about Cedric is he gets so involved in the offense that he gets a little bit tired. Really important for Lloyd Clemens to take some of this load, especially after a long run like that on a hot day.
I'm impressed so far by Bill Burke. He looks like a different quarterback than that day in Oregon when the Spartans were massacred. Scott's the motion man. Sets up as a slot. Michigan may have violated the neutral zone, and I think they did. I saw James Hall slam his helmet, number 56, as he came across. James Hall and Dehani Jones were lined up on that side when they burned it for a 40-yard gain.
Defense.
in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Down remains second.
There are the key losses for Michigan. You wonder what happened. Charles Woodson, Mr. Do-Everything. But Glenn Steele was a great leader on the field. Brian Greasy, intelligent quarterback. Chris Howard. And folks at the bottom, Chris Floyd. He was described by a teammate yesterday, a savage blocker. What you need at a game like this. 2nd down and 3 coming up now. That was Dwayne Patman, who's replacing Marcus Ray, who is also gone now. Play fake. Burke, a left-hander, rolls to the right. Got Scott out of bounds at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, Spartans.
Burke's pass complete to Gary Scott.
Well, this time the Spartans are going to move their quarterback out of the pocket. And watch after Scott makes his catch. He's going to run away from James Whitley. Whitley is in pursuit, but he's not even in the picture here. And if Scott had a little bit more sideline, he might have scored.
High formation. They put Gould in front of Irvin. His 6th carry. And nothing doing. It looked like he stopped, but I didn't hear a whistle. He thought the play had been whistled dead. He's looking back upfield. He thought the play was dead. His body language clearly indicated.
I've never seen that before, Brent. He just went up the line of scrimmage and totally stopped. It's the lead draw play, one of their favorite plays. He says, there's nothing going here, and he quits. He must have thought he saw a flag or heard a whistle.
Had to have. By the way, he pointed into the end zone, because this makes it 2nd and 12, penalizes him back to the 13-yard line. He takes a 6-yard loss on the play. Now Burke to put it up. Corner got him in. Got Burris for the touchdown. Plaxico Burris makes a beautiful sideline move in the end zone, and he ate the corner up.
Plaxico Burris goes 6 foot 6 inches, and he's working against 5'11" James Whitley. Here he is. It's the post corner route, and it's a great throw by Burke as he leads the receiver to the sideline perfectly. Whitley had no clue.
Now Michigan State with the swinging gate for Paul Ettinger. And Michigan State's lead grows to 7 points on the first touchdown of the game. Plaxico Burris. He lit him up in the spring game, and now his 3rd touchdown catch of the regular season, and it's against Michigan. State leads it. Timeout. The key play in that drive was Cedric Urban's 40-yard run around the right side of the Michigan defense on a delayed pitch from Bill Burke. And it is Burke who is winning the quarterback battle here in Ann Arbor in the early going, with State leading Michigan 10-3 and 5:44 to go, with Ettinger putting the ball back on the tee. And Michigan has changed return men. Justin Fargas, the freshman, goes back deep. Strange to take somebody out unless he's hurt or return to kickoff 45 yards. They kick it away. Fumble! Michigan State's got it. The Spartans on a short kickoff have recovered it at the 30-yard line.
The guy that made the big hit, Plaxico Burris, number 4, came down and drilled a linebacker who was trying to make the catch.
That was Brady Brooks, who's over there talking to the coaches.
He's got to call for a fair catch is what he's got to do. Watch Burris drop his helmet right into the chin of Brady Brooks, knocks his hat off, and Michigan State has another turnover. But he's got to make that fair catch call there. That's something that Michigan State must have seen in the tapes of previous Michigan games. A big mistake on special teams.
Junior quarterback Bill Burke, 5 of 6. And a touchdown throw to Burris under center. That's Gould, the lead man. Irvin sprints right, looks for the corner, got it. To the 25. More excitement coming your way next Saturday, a doubleheader. You're going to start off early in the Big Ten, and it's Penn State at Columbus against Ohio State. Then our regional coverage comes out. Many of you will see Michigan down against Iowa, and only out west will you watch Arizona State USC. So that's next Saturday. Here, Spartans on the move again. They got 6 yards, what you want to get out of first down. Puts them in second down and 4. Cedric Irvin in a one-back now without the fullback. Sprints to the outside, made the most of that run for about a yard. A year ago, the Spartans moved Irvin all around the field in an effort to find him daylight. He would run outside, inside variety, and of course we've already talked about the fake field goal as the shoe slipped off and he puts it back on, and now he'll come up. This is a big down coming up, 3rd and 3 after Irvin is stopped and Leroy McFadden replaces him. Shotgun look. No tight end, 4 wideouts. McFadden to the offensive line, hold up, it does. Fired for the first down. Hold on. Let us hold on. I think Michigan stopped him short of it. Scott, the receiver, the wide man. Now, with this lead, they'll go for it. There'll be no question what Saban will do here.
That's got to be an error on Gary Scott not getting enough.
I thought he had it, and
pass route.
Andre Weathers making a good hit.
Well, Brent, Nick Saban says, I want 3 more points.
Yeah, you're right.
Not going to gamble here.
Unless there's a fake. Remember, they used the fake for a touchdown. Everybody clears the field. And here comes Edinger. Of course, this came off a fumbled kickoff. It's a 39-yarder. He's already kicked a 22-yarder. Coach should have gambled, right?
Well, and Edinger got drilled by William Peterson after he kicked that ball. He's down and he's hurt, and there are no flags. And it's his right leg that he's limping on. Check it out. This is a terrible kick. Snap was not very good either. Hold is fine. He just comes across it, and he's standing there. That's got to be a penalty, but they're probably saying is that Baker blocked Peterson into the kicker. I don't think that's a good argument at all.
Here come the Wolverines. A break. Their second turnover results in no points for the Spartans. So now Tom Brady with a fresh set of downs. He'll see what he can do with Clarence Williams. Pounding the middle to the 30. Canoe making the stop for the Spartans. Now the Wolverines will, in Bo Schembechler's words, saddle up the run. I don't think these guys are running enough.
Yeah, they're going to have to win today. They've got to take time off the clock. Michigan State's offense is too explosive in this 4 wide receiver set they're using today.
Second down. The scoreboard shows 1 yard. It's really closer to 2. And this time, Thomas cuts free. Going. Anthony Thomas all the way. We're an extra point away from a tie. He's already returned a kickoff 45 yards. Michigan finds a big play man. Jay Feely with Brady holding for the tie. It's an old-fashioned neighborhood head knocker.
Couple things to look for. Watch the confusion by the linebackers of Michigan State, and then it's the counter play. Thomas steps to his left and back to the right. Look at that huge hole. Sori Canoe, one of the best tacklers in the Big Ten, can't bring down the A train. 6'2", 230, and a lot of speed to get in the end zone.
And will that ever lift spirits for the maize and blue?
That's exactly what they needed because it was
Ettinger's
Michigan
over here.
football.
That ankle being tended to.
Tuman and Jansen double teaming on Saylor. Good kick out block on Morris. And then Courtney Ledyard actually took himself out of the play, number 53. He's got to step up and take on that blocker. If he doesn't, this is the result.
Bo was right. Got to run the football.
Bo knows.
I don't have to tell you that was the longest Michigan run this season. You know that. And here is Epstein. Handled kickoffs beautifully against Eastern Michigan, but he's working against the wind, and as he gets the ball up, it is tough to kick it into the end zone. This is very high. Scott elects to field it just short of the 20. Running laterally, dipping back. He's got to cut it up. Oh, out of bounds. And Gary Scott ran a long way for not many yards. And a reminder, this is your Sunday nighter on ESPN. Cincinnati and Baltimore. Running back Priest Holmes steps in for the Ravens. That is Sunday night. Only a 4-yard return on that short kick, Dan.
Freshman Justin Fargas with the tackle. He's got as much speed, if not more, than Gary Scott has.
Jack, we're going to go right down to Jack after this play. They come out without a huddle. I want to find out about Ettinger, and our man downstairs has got that story. First down and 10 here for Burke. Power football. Urban picks his way to the 24. And Jack, what's the situation with the place kicker for the Spartans?
Well, it will be a question mark. Right now, the Michigan State training staff is working on Paul Ettinger. He has slightly sprained his kicking foot. They are going to retape it, but in the meantime, the freshman that could replace him, David Schaefer, is continuing to warm up. That would put a lot of pressure on this youngster.
Yeah, but that's what rivalries are all about. Unsung heroes, unknown freshmen.
And expect the unexpected. Inside of 2 minutes. Play fake Urban. Fires it. Right at the first down marker was Sword chasing Leroy McFadden out of bounds.
That's a great heavyweight battle there. Sword with a great tackle there. Looked like McFadden had a lot of room to pick up the first down, but good to see Sam Sword not 100% healthy, but more healthy than he's been at any point this year. See the brace on the left knee there.
There's Sam.
There's a first down for Michigan.
It is a first down. He was right at the marker. It was going to be close. The spot determined it. And a big first down. The Spartans can keep the ball for a fresh series. And Nick Saban, a defensive specialist, over there conferring with those troops. High formation. And here is Cedric picking his way out to the 35-yard line. You know, we talked about Cedric Urban a year ago at East Lansing, the way they used him. They'd run him outside behind a pulling lineman. They would spread him out wide as a receiver. They would run him behind the fullback in an ISO play. Then he was the pitch man on the option to Renaud. Renaud is gone, but Cedric is here. And then against the Irish, the percentage of plays, when they got off to the big start, he was handling it as Lloyd Clemens takes a fake, blocks. Burke going to come down, double coverage, incomplete. That was a good overthrow in that situation. He threw to double coverage. Weathers was there, along with Tommy Hendricks, the free safety. A dangerous throw by Burke that time.
Well, that's the type of throw that'll get him in trouble from Gary Tranquil, his offensive coordinator, trying to hit his tight end way down the field. Gives you an indication. Now, this is all of last year, 1997 for Michigan secondary, and what they did. This number here, that's phenomenal. But the other number that's really the problem, 69.9% completions, and Burke is right on track to have that for Michigan State today.
Spartans try to convert a 3rd and 7. Fake the inside, throw it to Haygood. First down, Michigan State. Let us check in with John Saunders in New York. John?
Brent, turnovers the order of the day. Clemson against Wake Forest. Streeter back to pass. As he rolls to his left, just fires it right to Mark McCovic, who picks it off and has to go 36 yards for the touchdown as Wake grabs the lead on Clemson. Brent.
Could be a shocker in Clemson, but it's early in Death Valley. Leroy McFadden, the running back here. We've got a fresh set of downs. McFadden pounds to the middle, just short of midfield, and that was a fine run on first down with Fizzell and Sam Sword making the stop for the Wolverines. There is Joaquin Fizzell out of Fort Valley, Georgia. He's a 276-pound senior.
I really like the way that Gary Tranquil is mixing his offense, keeping these linebackers, Sam Sword and Anthony Jordan, off balance. That might have been a check with me because Burke audibled and went to the open side.
An exciting first quarter comes to an end. It was 15 minutes of big plays. It was Cedric Urban, 10 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown pass to Burris. But then Anthony Thomas, the A train rolling and not making any stops. Baby, it's an express, and we're tied in Ann Arbor.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
Sam Sword leading the Michigan defense with 6 tackles in the first quarter. He'll be looking for one here. The Spartans with a 2nd and 5 at midfield. Alongside quarterback Burke as running back Cedric Urban. Gould set over to the left. Pass blocking, throw incomplete. He threw behind Burris that time. And this will leave the Spartans with 3rd and 5. Not a well-thrown ball.
Now his poorest pass of the day, and he just hurried it. Burris was open. Again, it's a soft corner for Michigan. They seem to be in the bend but don't break mode so far. They've been that way all year long.
Now Burke is 8 of 11 so far in this game. He's thrown 1 touchdown. He's thrown for 61 yards, and his long gain is 12. He comes into a passing situation here under center. Fake the end around, and it was cut off. Beautifully defended, and Burke kept it. And Michigan State is forced to punt here for the first time. Craig Jarrett, the freshman punter with the big leg, trots onto the field, and Whitley will go back deep.
Dhani Jones is coming on the blitz. Michigan is a zone blitz team. That means they'll drop out a lineman and bring a safety or a linebacker. That was good coordination between Whitley on the corner and Dhani inside.
Jarrett booms it to Whitley at the 8-yard line, and Whitley is going down at the 16-yard line. What a leg Craig Jarrett possesses as Herb Haygood rushes down to make the tackle. Jarrett is such a field position kicker. That is 37 yards net, and it buries Michigan inside the 20-yard line. What you want from a punter at midfield. Get 37 yards net. That is well done, young man.
And a tie game. You're looking at field position. Now you see why Nick Saban went for the points both times after those turnovers.
So it is junior quarterback Tom Brady. He is 3 of 7. 1 costly interception in the early going. And they will run it with Aaron Shea carrying for the first time. He's been slowed by an injury, and he powers out to the right side with Courtney Ledger making the defensive play for the Spartans, but a powerful first down run for the Wolverines.
Shea is a pretty big fullback, too. We talked about Garrett Gould of State, but this fella, 6'5", and 250 pounds, and powerful.
3 yards to go.
2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard gain. Now they come back with Williams. Jitterbugs, first down. Corey Sanu wrestles him down at the 29-yard line, and the chains move for the Wolverines.
Well, Captain John Jansen, number 77, right here, will get the double-team help from Tuman. We've seen this a couple of times today, and take Sean Wright for a ride.
substitution is Mark Campbell, an extra tight end. And the A-train, Anthony Thomas, dashes out. And they pitch to Jackson. Jackson breaks a tackle. Fumble! But Michigan pounces on it. They save it. I got to say, Dan, that if I'm on the other sideline, I'm a little critical of the late substitutions as the Wolverines are changing packages very late in this game. I remember Gary Moeller got into a problem with that when he was the head coach of the Wolverines. These guys are dashing in very late.
But they're going to their positions, and that is legal. You can't have them dashing into the huddle and having other guys come out. Then you would have more than the 11 in the huddle, and that would be a penalty.
Hutchison saved the day. Brady throws the swing. Here's Thomas, cut off defensively and going nowhere. And there, again, is Eric Morris coming up along with Ronaldo Hill. Ronaldo Hill defensed it very well, and then Eric cleaned up.
Michigan on the third down this year has been absolutely terrible, and they're not much better today, although it is early. But this 36% is one of the goals that any offense has got to improve on.
Jeremy Tooman in for Michigan. This is 3rd and 12. Brady needs to reach the 40-yard line for the first down. He gets his time, but he throws underneath to the fullback. He's not going to get it. Michigan is forced to punt.
And little Cedric Henry.
Now remember, against the Fighting Irish, there was this moment. Scoreless, East Lansing, September 12th. The punt was blocked, and Michigan State rambled in for the touchdown that set the tone for that rout. Newsom scored. Now it'll be Jason Benson back deep. Gets this one off under pressure. Gary Scott inside the 20. Alley closes quickly at the 29-yard line. So we will take a break as Todd Howard, the freshman corner, closed the door on the special teams. Timeout. Junior quarterback Bill Burke is 8 of 11 as he comes up in a 1st and 10 and an I formation. Haygood's the motion. Irvin sprinting for a hole, and he gained about 4 yards with Brady Brooks. And let us check in with John Saunders. John.
Brent, elsewhere in the Big Ten, Wisconsin facing Northwestern. 4th and goal from the 1. A little option and a keeper. Samuel goes in. 14-0. Wisconsin has the lead. In Iowa facing Illinois. Iowa on top, 10-0. Brent.
And Iowa next week hosts Michigan down in Iowa City. Looking forward to seeing Hayden Fry next week. Here it is 2nd down and 6. Come back with the big fella, and he is getting hit with a lot of plastic. There's a whole lot of pads popping down there. Hendricks and Brooks whacking him pretty good like they wanted to do here today. And Irvin says, I got to have a road. I got to have a hole. You got to open something here for me.
Well, you know what he has to do is he has to have better coordination between him and the fullback. That time, Gould and Irvin were running side by side into the hole. You got to have the big guy going first.
66 yards with 12 carries, but let us remember, 40 yards on 1 carry. So it's 11 for 22 in his other 11 carries, and now it is 3rd and 2. Shotgun and short yardage for Michigan State. They'll try to throw for it. Almost picked off by Whitley. He stepped in front of Haygood. It would have been 6 the other way. A telegraph pass by the left-hander.
Total misread by Bill Burke. This is a corner rolled up on this side, and James Whitley will never have a better opportunity to score a touchdown than that play right there. That ball hit him in the hands, then it hit him in the face mask.
You'll get another chance with Craig Jarrett about to punt him the ball. Whitley is back deep for Michigan. Coming after it. Punter goes down. They're looking for a flag. He said he got a hand on it. There's no penalty. Whitley's free to return to the 37. No penalty. The referee said that he got a hand on it. And as we go to commercial, let's give you today's Aflac trivia question. Today, the 91st meeting between Michigan and Michigan State. When was the first meeting and where? The answer coming up a little later.
Number 15 is Dwayne Patman. Here he is on the outside. He's filling in for Marcus Ray as strong safety, but here he's going to do it on special teams. He just barely gets his left hand on the ball.
And now the ball on the Michigan 37-yard line with Justin Fargas checking in. Tom Brady is 5 of 9. Now 6 of 10 as Truman hangs on wide open coming down the middle. The play that Michigan has been lacking this season is putting the ball into Truman's hands. They've done it a couple of times today.
He's a great tight end. Number 80 is going to be a little bit of an out move, very little, as he comes right down the seam. Lamar Marshall is playing corner. He's used to battling with Truman. He's been a strong safety for State.
22 yards, so Truman with 2 catches for 38 yards, the leading yardage man. On first down, they run Shea for the second time, and Shea, a powerful runner, steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line. An ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the new Silverado, the truck from Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks. Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. National Car Rental, so what are you waiting for? Let's go. And Midas, for quality service at your neighborhood, Midas today. And we have a quality football game unfolding here in Ann Arbor. 10-10, 10 minutes to go. Anthony Thomas has been the hero for Michigan. 1 carry, 69 yards. Back in the lineup. Second carry is a little counter play. It opens, and he pounds to the 24-yard line. Nice run by Anthony, and what an average he has today with Eric Thomas making the hit. Dan, you got to believe that Anthony Thomas deserves more carries. That was only his second in the game.
Well, both Truman and the tackles. This time it's Backus. We've seen him double team before with Jansen. They take care of Robert Smith right there. And he gets a triple team block that time. But what I like on that counter play is the Michigan running backs, they're allowed to just pick the hole as they come down the line of scrimmage.
Now they give Brady 2 tight ends and the A-train. Breaks the first tackle before he's out of bounds. He's just a good-looking runner. Freshman of the year a year ago in the Big Ten. He's 221 pounds. That 69-yard run was his 4th touchdown of the season.
And what I like about him, Brent, is he says that he needs to make more yards on his own. They call him the A-train, and they want him to come out the back end of that tunnel, you know. He sure did on that 69-yarder.
Got great gold teeth. Did you see that when we interviewed him yesterday? He's the young man who described Floyd as a savage blocker. And he would know one when he sees one. Here it is now, 2nd down and 9. Clarence Williams on the pitch. Goes to the right, outrun Morris, and he steps out of bounds at the 18-yard line. It'll be 3rd down coming up for the Wolverines.
This is the best drive for Michigan on offense all year. The key play was getting Truman involved down the middle, but since then it's been Michigan football. A couple of counter plays left, this time with Clarence Williams using his speed on the toss sweep.
One statistic stands out on Michigan State. 1-10. I cannot overemphasize this enough. I'm not sure of all the reasons why, but they do not do well on natural grass.
And I thought all grass was natural.
Oh my. Some of that hemp you grow. 3rd down and 5. Here's a throw outside, and it was Ty Streets, his first reception, crashing toward that 1st down marker. First down, Wolverines.
Here's Street outside. He's just going to come down to the inside. Michigan offensive line is doing a good job with their run blocking and their pass blocking for Tom Brady. Streets is playing with a sore right ankle, but he's going to play. This is Michigan State.
First down and 10. The Wolverines doing a number on the Spartan secondary. Here's Williams on a little delay, twists inside the 10-yard line. Let's check in now with Jack Aru. Jack?
Well, Brent, Michigan State is using a brand new shoe today on this natural grass. So maybe that'll change their luck. It's called the shroud. And the concept is, in lieu of having the players spats their shoes so they've got tape on the outside, they simply zip up the shroud and it covers up the shoelaces.
Dick Butkus would have unzipped every zipper by now of every running back on the Spartan team. Anthony Thomas comes back in now for 2nd down and 7. Here he is on a delay behind Shea. Out of crease powerfully, but just short of the 1st down. Eric Morris, the strong safety. And remember, this defensive backfield is playing without Amp Campbell. He injured his neck in that game against Oregon, out for the season. They're a little bit short-handed back there, and Michigan is exploding into that defensive backfield. And it was a 1st down, powerful run. It's 1st and goal coming up.
One of the problems for Michigan State, Brent, is that you had to take their strong safety, Lamar Marshall, out of the middle where he makes a lot of tackles, and put him out on the corner to replace Amp Campbell.
Shea, the lead blocker if they come back with Anthony Thomas, who has scored once. This is 1st and goal. 2 tight ends. Tooman will be over to the right side. This is a formation for Michigan, which features strength to the right. Let's see what Brady elects to do. Going to go in that direction, and Thomas is tripped up by Morris. Morris comes across. He is shaken up on making a huge stop.
Morris, of course, the other part of the puzzle, he went in for Lamar Marshall as the strong safety.
He's receiving medical attention. He has to leave for a play up on a knee.
He really sells out from the right side of the screen. Watch number 9 get inside the block there and make the tackle with his head. I'm sure he's got some type of stinger. Aaron Shea can't make the block on Morris, and there is the head snapping back as he brings down 230-pound Thomas.
Made the stop back at the 6-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal from there. Ty Streets into the lineup, both he and Knight. Streets will come down to the wide side or the left, and Tooman is also wide left. He's going to go in motion. They're going to show pass in this formation, and they're going to run from it with Shea. And the Spartans were not fooled. Stopped at the 5-yard line where it'll be 3rd and goal. So it was a pass formation, and they ran from it.
They ran right at the best tackler in the secondary. In fact, Sori Kanu is the leading tackler on this entire Spartan defense.
I could just see Dan Fouts with a safety out saying, "Come on, Kellen, get free, baby. Here it comes."
Oh, yeah.
Remember those days?
You got to get over it, Brent. I know I have.
Mark Campbell into the lineup. He'll go to the right side, and they'll slot Knight. This is 3rd and goal, remember, from the 5-yard line for the Wolverines. Quick loft, fade, up in the air, got it straight, touchdown Michigan. Ty Streets, former basketball player and the best fade receiver on the Wolverines, does it over the top of Ronaldo Hill.
Great throw by Tom Brady, too. He allowed his 6'4" Ty Streets to make the catch on the fade. Watch as this ball, very catchable. Let the guy use his athletic ability in those big hands and make the touchdown.
Brady now 8 of 12 as Feely adds the extra point. Michigan leads by 7, 17-10. And it was Ty Streets, his 2nd touchdown of the season, as the Wolverines go 63 yards in 11 plays. Timeout. My spotter, Brian Mobilson, a Michigan man, reminds me that Ty Streets back in Chicago growing up used to shut out one Kevin Garnett when they played basketball. For whatever it's worth, that makes him a good leaper, though.
I know he shut out Ronaldo Hill there.
Epstein. High and Scott. A yard deep. Going to bring it out. 15. Just short of the 20. Good coverage on a fine kickoff ball. Earlier we asked you the Aflac trivia question. Today, the 91st meeting between Michigan and Michigan State. When was the first and where? Well, folks, it was way back in 1898, Regents Field. Today, Regents Field is better known as Schembechler Hall, where the coaches have their offices. It's a wonderful little Hall of Fame, little museum over there for the maize and blue. But that's where they played for the first time. Burke brings them up to the line of scrimmage. The Spartans trailing by 7. McFadden. There's the pitch out late. Put it in McFadden's hands from Urban. Not this time. Not this time. Rennis is ready, and let's go down to Jackaroot.
Well, Brent, the trainers continue to work on Eric Morris over here on the sidelines. They say he suffers from a stinger. But what was interesting is Lorenzo Guest, his freshman replacement, was sitting on a box behind all of his teammates. He was just watching everything. Nick Saban had to walk up to him and say, look, Guest, get in the program here because you may have to come in and relieve Morris. He perked right up and is leaning in, listening to everything intently.
Still sitting on the box, though, isn't he?
Now they put Irvin outside as a receiver. They bring him across the middle, dragging. Burke going to go deeper, though, and he's got Burris for a first to fumble. I see Garrett Gould, the fullback, down there at the bottom of that pile, too.
And he's got it.
Yes, indeed.
What a play by Gould.
250-pound fullback saves the day.
I'm not really sure what happened to Plaxico Burris on this play, Brent. Number 4 coming across the middle. He has the catch.
Hold it, they're changing their mind down here. No, Gould said he had it. No, they're going to change it. Michigan celebrating. They took it away from Gould on the bottom of the pile.
It gets real ugly down there. Gould was surrounded by about 4 or 5 blue shirts under there, and you know that they're pulling at his arms, and Dwayne Patman makes his second huge play of this first half with the recovery. But Burris never put the ball away, had it in his hands and got it stripped.
Ball is free. Whitley's up over the top. Gould dives in for the ball, and Patman goes inside, burrows in underneath, and somehow snatches the football away. Michigan will take it. Thank you very much. Tom Brady ready to go back to work again. Thomas is his tailback. Gets the carry, and that was read perfectly that time by Courtney Ledger. Smashed across the line of scrimmage to make the stop on Anthony Thomas. Let's update some of these goals, Dan.
Well, right now, Michigan's doing pretty good as far as the rush is concerned. They're avoiding 3rd and long, and the biggest problem, though, man, 2 turnovers in the first half.
2nd and 11. Streets goes out to the right. And Knight is the flanker receiver with Williams on the pitch. They love Williams on the pitch play. Morris in a foot race. And he is down with the clock running, not out of bounds at the 28-yard line. That's Lamar Marshall in pursuit.
And defensively, this number's got to change for Michigan State. And, well, let's just change them all, because they're not doing very well.
3rd and 8 from the 28. Robert Smith's ready to go back to work. Here's Brady. Slips. Incomplete. He was looking for a crossing pattern for Tooman, who had crossed with Campbell, and he slipped, backing up. And a reminder, still a lot of action coming your way here. USC Florida State. Possibility of rain, but nothing heavy down in Tallahassee, we are told. Meanwhile, Washington and Nebraska, many of you waiting for that battle of the unbeatens. How good is Nebraska this year? You'll find out. And Jay Feely, to attempt a 45-yarder, he hit a 51-yarder earlier. He whacks this one. Hit the upright, and it ricochets in. He's got it. A 51 and a 45-yarder. So Feely adds 3 more, and Michigan leads it by 10. Timeout. Against Notre Dame, Michigan backfired on its kicking game. Here today, senior Jay Feely with a 51-yarder and a Wolverine ricochet. 45 and good. And the freshman, Hayden Epstein, handling the kicking off. A little bit of a longer leg, but you wouldn't know it watching Feely kick today. Cedric Irvin and Herb Haygood go back deep. Now Haygood should take a knee, but he's not going to. He's 5 deep, but here come the Wolverines, tripped up at the 15-yard line. Oh my. Anthony Jordan, the linebacker, getting down on Haygood. And program reminder that Tuesday night after Spin City, one of the new ABC comedy hits of the fall from the writer of A Few Good Men. Go behind the scenes of live television Sports Night, Tuesday, 9:30, 8:30 Central, here on ABC.
Epstein's such a weapon as far as field position is concerned. Last week, kicked 7 of 10 into the end zone that were not returned. Haygood should have seen that. He took that ball 5 yards deep and only came out 20 yards. You do the math, it's on the 15-yard line.
Well, Burke is now 9 of 13 for 72 yards, and this is Clemens who's going to get a few carries, and he powers, and I mean powers, to the 19-yard line on first down. It's his second carry of the game. Well, the main man has been Cedric Irvin, but Dan, remember, one of those 12 was for 40 yards as we compare the two.
And one of these 84 was for 69 yards.
The A-train.
Came out of that tunnel, didn't he?
Second down and it's 6. Now Bill Burke. He's got Scott out wide to the wide side of the field. Looking that way, but not fooled. Burke breaks away somehow, but he was whistled down at the 5-yard line. Momentum stopped as Josh Williams, the junior from Houston, wrapped the quarterback up on the 5-yard line. Do you agree with that call?
No way. No way that they should have called Bill Burke for being down here or have lost his momentum. Williams does a nice job of containing him, but you got to let the player struggle and fight. His knee never goes down, and I think the official thought his knee went down because he clearly was never stopped. Controversy, that's what rivalries are all about. Lucky bounces off the goalpost.
They're down and 19 yards. And timeout was called, I believe, by Michigan, a linebacker. If I'm not mistaken, Renus, the nose man, was getting down, and there were only 10 men on the field. Michigan with only 10 men, they'll use up a timeout, and we'll go down to Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Brent, let me show you one of the great things. If you look back here, all of the players on Michigan are now allowed to sit down. One of the reasons why is the fact that they can't see. But the whole key, if you look at this guy right here, what he's trying to do is block our view for no reason whatsoever. All these guys are doing is getting a rest. But you know what it allows them to do? They can still see what's going on. They just have to look up on the big screen TV.
The bench police stalking Jackaroot's every move. Yesterday, they said no shooting of a little preview piece in our stadium until we are done with the kickoff drill. And a reminder that Todd Blackledge on the Valvoline halftime report is going to take a look at what he feels is the best group of pro quarterback prospects since the legendary '83 draft. There are a whole bunch of them out there.
Of which Todd was a member of that '83 draft.
That's exactly right. 3 of them, I believe, went to Super Bowls.
I tell you, a whole bunch of them are going to the Hall of Fame.
John Elway, of course, was the first one picked. Jimmy Kelly was in that group. There was a fourth one went to the Super Bowl. You got it? Yes, sir.
New England Patriots.
And Kenny O'Brien went to the Jets. He didn't go, nor did Todd, who was drafted in that. Third down and 19. The draw play with Irvin, and he'll be run out of bounds, stopping the clock on the 8-yard line by William Peterson, who returned last week, number 23, a sophomore corner, and a good one. And you can see the confidence level building for the Wolverines here.
Well, Jim Herman, defensive coordinator, was assistant coach of the year, and he's starting to show why. Last year, I had a great year, but that was a great defensive call. Blitz him on 3rd and 19 when they're backed up.
So Craig Jarrett standing in his end zone. Low and returnable. Here's Whitley on the move. Fumbled it. Through his hands. Loose. Free ball. Diving. Bouncing. Still free. State goes for it. Michigan State's got it. Eric Morris. Don't have to worry about that injury as Whitley blows a returnable punt.
He must have terrible hands. He dropped a sure interception earlier in this quarter, and this time he's got a chance to really return. Great pressure on the punter that time, but this ball was just flat dropped right through his hands, right through the wickets, and now it's wild. Morris finally with the dive and the ball.
So now Burke brings up the Spartans. And they'll go to Irvin's halfback option pass. Gonna go deep on first down. No, incomplete. Scott was working deep in the end zone. Michigan was not fooled, however. Andre Weathers had dropped back, and he was not wide open, and Irvin threw a pretty good pass that time.
This was a perfect pass by Irvin. What happened to Scott is he got a little bit turned around. If he could have just come straight to the corner here, he has to fight through the defensive back here. That could have been called pass interference. That should have been called pass interference. If he doesn't get that bump, he scores.
Second down and 10 from the Wolverines' 34-yard line. And now it'll be Burke blitz. Jones gets it off. Irvin slips a tackle. Sideline. Look out. To the 21-yard line. Dwayne Patman saves the touchdown, and Burke goes down as Dhani Jones was coming in a big-time hurry.
He really was, Brandon. I'm really impressed with Bill Burke's composure. You're seeing all these guys coming at you. You have a tendency to rush this pass, but he took his time. He let the screen set up. When Irvin got the ball, he had a blocker in front of him, and you see the result.
Spartans come out with that first down at the Wolverines' 22-yard line. Irvin's the tailback. There's the long handoff, reaching, getting outside. 15, cuts back, and he's out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Dwayne Patman saving it again, and Cedric Irvin. 14 carries for 85 yards here today.
And, you know, he's such a great cutback runner that he can fake the cutback and still have the speed to get outside. And Michigan is aware that he can cut back and make yardage over the middle. He'll dip in here and then set up his block by McFadden, and that gave him an extra 12 yards.
He'll take a break. The Spartans will have first and goal. Clemens will come onto the field. He'll be behind Garrett Gould, the 250-pounder. The fullback will get down right in front of him now. And this is Clemens, a fresh set of wheels on first and goal. He'll lead the way, and Clemens cut away from him beautifully to the 3-yard line. It'll be second and goal. Sam Sword, the defender for the Wolverines. Minute 34 to go. How good a half has this? Well, timeouts. They've still got them left. All 3 for State and 2 for Michigan. Clemens stays in, and Gould, you could see, over on that right wing now with Haygood coming in behind the quarterback in motion. If they want to throw it, they're going to pound back with Clemens. Short of the end zone, and number 28, Anthony Jordan, jumped in there beautifully for the Wolverines. Well, the man upstairs right next to us knows this Michigan State rivalry better than anybody. Let's listen to what it was like when Bo Schembechler went back and started coaching Michigan against Michigan State.
The Michigan State series started in 1969, my first year, when we went to East Lansing, and Duffy Daugherty was running the wishbone, and he switched to the I formation that week. Kind of caught us by surprise and beat us. And even though we won the championship that year and beat a great Ohio State team, Michigan people said, well, you do not understand the importance of the Michigan State rivalry. So for the next 20 years, I placed a great deal of emphasis on that rivalry, and we won 17 times.
Vintage Bo Schembechler, the house he kept filled while he was the reigning coach here after coming to Michigan from Miami of Ohio. This a sleeping giant. And Bo Schembechler put together a program that was the envy of college football, at least the envy this side of Columbus, Ohio. You can't forget his buddy Woody.
You know, it was great. Bo got a shot at Ohio State and Michigan State all in one interview.
One soundbite. He just went right after him.
17 of them I beat. Yeah. And a great Ohio State team, man, when we won the championship. All that was missing was his cigar.
So here we go after that timeout. With 54 seconds to go, it is 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line for the Michigan State Spartans, who trail the Wolverines by 10. There's your 3rd down. Both Irvin and Clemens are on the field behind Gould. And it's going to be Irvin pitching. Clemens corner. Out of bounds. Didn't get it. Leroy McFadden, let me check that. McFadden, the ball carrier, didn't get it on the corner. And Irvin with that late pitch. And this will leave Saban with a tremendous decision to make here.
Well, Michigan's just defending this perfectly. Fazell comes up number 90, and then Anthony Jordan, who's really an undersized linebacker, selling out to knock out the big fullback, Leroy McFadden.
No decision. Down 10, 50 seconds. 4th down and goal from the 1. They put it all on the line here in the first half. Irvin's the tailback. Burke over the touchdown, Michigan State. Touchdown, Spartans. The linesman makes the call as Burke crashes over the top. The fumble by Whitley on the punt allows Michigan State to put 7 on the board before the intermission.
Burke's 6'5", and he leaps over the ball clearly across the plane.
Now, who is kicking for the Spartans? Paul Ettinger will try it. Remember, he injured his ankle. It is his kicking foot. Let's watch. He slipped a little bit with the plant foot on the injury, and he puts this one right through. You wouldn't even know that he was shaken up for Coach Nick Saban over there. It is 4th year. He replaced George Perlis. Once upon a time, Nick Saban was a defensive back at Kid State. (2017) and John Saunders, what's coming up on the Valvoline halftime report?
Coming up on Valvoline Halftime 98, scores and highlights, plus a look ahead to our 3:30 matchups for a couple of very important games.
Yeah, and we'll also take a look at why I think this current group of quarterbacks is the best in college since the group of 1983.
All right, it's all coming up on Valvoline Halftime 98.
Well, you know, we saw a pretty good one last week in Brock Heward out in Seattle against Brigham Young.
And the week before, and I'm sure that Michigan fans will never forget a guy by the name of Donovan McNabb of Syracuse. Those are 2 of the guys they'll be talking about at halftime.
Ettinger to kick it off. Well, certainly turnovers have been the story as far as the Wolverines are concerned. That has allowed Michigan State to stay right in this game. Michigan weathered the storm on the second one, but not the first and third. It's resulted in 10 points. Short kickoff, down at 46 seconds. So we mentioned it, and Bob Goodrich, the producer, comes right up with the package. There was the first interception by Morse. Field goal time. Fumble on the kickoff. Michigan holds. Then Whitley coughs up the punt, and Michigan State scores moments ago. It's 20-17 right now.
And what do you do with those turnovers? The most important thing is you got to turn them into points.
Yeah, exactly. Burris caught that first one instead of a field goal. That was a touchdown, so it was 14 points and not 10 off 2 of the 3. And Williams comes out of bounds with 41 seconds on the clock. Well, in the first half, Cedric Irvin carried 14 times for 85 yards, and Anthony Thomas 6 times for 84 in the battle of the running backs. As far as your quarterbacks are concerned, Tom Brady, number 10 here for Michigan, 8 of 13. He had that 1 interception and 1 touchdown. Bill Burke, 10 of 14. He threw for 1 touchdown and dove over the top for 1. 41 seconds on this second down, and Brady going to go deep for Knight. Overthrows him.
And you know, Brett, coming into the game and all season long, both these starting quarterbacks, Burke and Brady, have been hearing from the fans about their backups. Ryan Van Dyke for State and Drew Henson for Michigan. You don't hear anybody talking about that now that the Big Ten season started.
There is Drew Henson. His father, once a quarterback coach over at Eastern Michigan. Charlie Batch, is that the young man's name, who's now quarterbacking the Lions? He'll go Monday night against Tampa Bay, and Drew's father coached him. And across the way, Ryan Van Dyke, slowed by an injury out of the Oregon game. And here's Brady firing, complete with 30 seconds to go, but well short of that first down. And suddenly, Michigan State has forced the Wolverines to punt here, something that you do not want to do with 28 seconds left in the half.
And you know, you talk about blocked punts. We've seen one today, but remember, Michigan had a punt blocked by Syracuse. So a lot of crazy things can happen on these special teams, as we've seen.
Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, you were talking about the phenom, Drew Henson. Lloyd Carr did play him periodically in the non-Big Ten conference games. And one of the reasons why he says that he did that was because of a situation that occurred to Brian Griese. When Griese had to come in and replace and be the starting quarterback back a couple of years ago, he'd have a good day, he'd have a bad day because he didn't have experience. Lloyd Carr promised himself he would never endure that problem again. He said, that's why I want to use Drew Henson and use him early. But when it becomes the Big Ten Conference, he'll probably be riding the pine for a while.
Yeah, you certainly cannot hold Tom Brady responsible for their 1 and 2 start, can you, Dan?
No, you know, he's completing over 60% of his passes, just about what Griese did last year. But what he hasn't done is get the big passes down the field. He's doing that today.
Michigan State with 1 timeout left and 28 seconds.
Cedric Irvin is deep for Michigan State.
And Cedric Irvin dashes onto the field to see what he can do with this punt. Driven back inside the 15, slips 2 would-be tacklers, and another one out to the 25 and down with 16 seconds left on the clock.
Michigan State only has 1 timeout remaining, and with the field position against them, I would expect Nick Saban to be happy about being down just by 3 points and probably just kill the clock with the old kneel-down play.
That was a 51-yard punt, and Irvin battled back for 11 return yards. And Lloyd Clemens onto the field as his tailback. He'll take the handoff, and here is the run, and he breaks free. Sloppy tackling by the Wolverines. as the final seconds tick away here on the first half. And that's going to bring us to the intermission. 37 points scored in the first half. 20 for the Wolverines, 17 for the Spartans. John Saunders will be coming up with the Valvoline halftime report as we continue. Michigan 20, Michigan State 17 with Dan Fouts and Jack Arute. I'm Brent Musburger. Welcome back to the Big House. And Dan, what strikes you about that entertaining first half?
Well, it was very entertaining. I think that's the great thing. We've had balls hit the upright. We've had freshmen sitting on boxes behind the bench where the coach couldn't find them. Fumbles, turnovers. But I'm really impressed with the play of both quarterbacks. But I'd like to see the A train with more carries.
Exactly. And let's show you some of the big plays from the first half that Dan alluded to. Michigan State moving out to a 10-3 lead. Burke to Burris. And then here is the A train. Here comes Anthony Thomas. 6 carries, 84 yards, and this 69-yard run for a TD. But then the big mistake by the Wolverines. They turn it over 3 times, and from here, Michigan State closed in at the end of the half. Now let's take a look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats.
Well, and then you look at those turnovers, and what do they lead to? 10 points, which is half of what Michigan State has. The other key thing, that happened at the end of the first half. Who gets the ball to start the second half? Michigan State. So they have momentum from the end of the first half that they hope to carry to start the second.
Some of our key storylines that we're tracking here in the Big House. Irvin, 14 rushes for 85 yards, and we've told you about Thomas, 6 for 84, and that one dynamite touchdown. Burke, very efficient, 10 of 14 for Michigan State, 85 yards, and no interceptions with his one touchdown. But that bottom one, Dan, that is the killer as far as the Wolverines are concerned.
And the amazing thing, they could have been up by who knows how many points if James Whitley would have picked off Bill Burke when he had clear sailing all the way to the end zone.
So the freshman, Hayden Epstein, and Michigan State down 3. There is Cedric Irvin, number 33 from Miami. There are 10 players from the state of Florida on this Michigan State roster. And Epstein pounds this one. Somebody won't even have to worry about a knee. He could just let that one go over the inline out. And let us check in with Jack Arute. What about the mood of the coaches, Jack?
Well, Brent, it was interesting. Lloyd Carr, all he wanted to talk about was the turnovers. He said, we'll stay the course, but we've got to stop the turnovers. Nick Saban, on the other hand, was very, very disturbed about the way his team reacted defensively when there were late substitutions. He said they would go in and they'd start trying to think on their feet. He said, we've got to get back to simplicity, not worry about that, and play hard defense.
Interesting point about the late substitution.
We talked about that, and Michigan is coming off on offense with their 3 and 4 wide receiver packages at the very last minute, lining up right on the line of scrimmage.
They go to come in behind the QB. And it is whistled dead prior to the snap. The 25-second clock might have expired as we start the second half here. Our referee again, David Whitvote.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, down remains
Well,
first.
we mentioned that Burke had been efficient in the first half, and there's our comparison, Dan.
And pretty even all the way around, except for that one interception that Tom Brady threw to Eric Morris on the first series of plays offensively for the Wolverines.
That's the first Michigan State penalty of this game. That's how efficient they have been, but it leaves Burke, Irvin, and Gang with a 1st and 15. Hago the other way. Lon Irvin picking his way for about 3 yards, not even back to the original line of scrimmage. So the penalty hurts as Eric Wilson, along with Sam Sword, making the stop. Sword had 11 tackles in the first half.
And this is a great play by Sword. He sees the fullback coming right at him, stuffs the guard, and then plays off and gets help from his teammates. But Michigan needs a solid second half from Sam Sword shutting down that run.
So Patman and Hendricks are the safeties. Weathers and Whitley. Whitley shows blitz, and now he'll back off. Now he'll they'll tighten up. There's no receiver. Here comes Whitley. Got Burke. Got it off in time. Here's Irvin. 25, 30. And out of bounds at the 32-yard line. You've got to give Burke a lot of credit. Whitley was all over him on the corner blitz that time.
And that's twice that Burke has hung in there to the very last instant to deliver the ball on a swing pass to Cedric Irvin. This shows me as a quarterback he's confident. He sees him coming the whole way. He knows where his outlet receiver is, and then Swervin Irvin does his thing.
On a first down for the Spartans, Irvin now 15 carries and 88 yards. And McFadden replaces him, twisting his way to the 36-yard line. You can see Brackens, 51, is down there. He's relaying the defensive calls to the Wolverine defense.
The one thing about Gary Tranquil, he said that this year they don't have to use Cedric as much as they did last year. We talked about that in the first half where he was all over the place. But with the four wide receiver sets, some of the burden is off Irvin.
2nd and 8 with the shotgun. And they put McFadden in the same backfield with Irvin. Cedric steps to the middle, slips at the 40-yard line, short of the first down. This will leave them in about a 3rd and 4 coming up as Cedric goes down on his 16th carry of the game. He's now 8 yards shy of 100, and he'll go off on the far side. We have seen the last couple of years several times a shoe has come off. He'll get reshod and be back soon. But in the meanwhile, Lloyd Clemens comes out.
We've seen a couple of players slip on this field. It rained very hard overnight. A big thunderstorm hit the area, and I don't think they covered the field.
So here's 3rd and 4 for the Spartans. And again, penalty flag comes down.
Prior to snap, ball start, offense, 5-yard penalty, down remains 3rd.
Well, we saw the high percentage he had against the Irish. What about today, Dan?
Well, in the Notre Dame game, the first quarter stat was around 63%. So you see that as the game's going on, Cedric is getting more involved instead of less involved.
3rd and 9. Burris comes to the short side. And William Peterson, the nickel man, goes off him for the blitz. They're going to throw hot. Was not read by Burris. Burris did not pick up Peterson going to the quarterback and took it deep. Burke read the hot, but the wide receiver was working downfield, and just a mistake by a wide receiver.
Yeah, Burke is in the shotgun, so he sees Foot coming on the blitz. And that is a mental error for Plaxico Burris.
Yeah, but it was the blitz on the other side. It was Peterson who was also coming with Foot that dictated what Burris had to do that time. Here comes a low returnable punt, but Whitley fumbled one. What's he going to do with this? Going to let it roll right on inside the 10. And the crowd grows restless at that. And when we come back, it'll be Michigan quarterback Tom Brady's turn with the ball. Our Home Depot coaches fact. Sorry, Bo, but it was Fritz Chrysler who was the only coach in the history of Michigan football with at least 3 years to go undefeated against the Michigan State Spartans. Bo had a great record, though, didn't he? First down and 10. 57 net yards on that punt. Play fake Williams. Brady going to throw underneath. Got his tight end Campbell. His first reception of the game. 12 yards and a Michigan first down.
And finally, we see the bread and butter play of Michigan from last year on offense. That great bootleg that Ryan Greasy would execute with Jeremy Tooman. Of course, you got to have a good play fake. There's the fake to Williams. And nobody from Michigan State's anywhere near the quarterback. That's an easy completion.
Aaron Shea, the fullback blocker. Williams, the tailback. Williams dives forward for about 3 yards, and it is second down.
Very solid afternoon for Tom Brady. He shook off that interception well. You know, you throw an interception early in the game, and that will shake your confidence just a little bit.
want to tell you who Michigan's doing an outstanding job on is Robert Smith, number 91. We have not called his name much here today.
He's been double teamed all year long.
They flop him over to the left side of the defense. Brady on a short drop, wants fade, straights, dives, incomplete. And he was in a duel with Ronaldo Hill, and the flag comes down. It'll be interesting to see, as Ronaldo was a little bit too tight on him. Nick Saban may not agree with this one.
Well, let's take a look at it. It's the fade route, trying to use his 6'4" height. That's that left hand in there. Then oh yeah, that's
no question.
There's no question. Ronaldo with 2 left jabs to the chin.
Spot foul. Automatic first down.
I would say now with tall receivers that young Ronaldo Hill could be in for a very long second half. He better get ready now.
Well, they're going to have to protect him a little bit more, call more zone coverages to his side of the field.
They send a freshman, David Terrell, out to match up with him this time, and Hill better watch out. Terrell can flat out fly. He's off to the right side of the formation. Shotgun for Brady. Brady waits. Comes back inside. Incomplete. Marquise Walker, the intended receiver, and let us send you to our wide man, John Saunders. John?
Not sure how you mean that, but it's time for the Burger King update. Iowa against Illinois, and Kyle McCann hooking up 52 yards with Khalil Hill, who also returned a punt for a touchdown, so a second TD of the game, and Iowa leads the Illini 34-0. Back to you, Brent.
I mean it in the best way, John Saunders. The ex-receiver we were thrown into that time. Here's the pitch now, and here's Anthony. The A-train slips that first tackle out of bounds. I have not seen the first man bring Thomas down yet today.
And Julian Peterson, number 98, sure didn't do it that time. That was that old toss sweep. Peterson hanging his head just a little bit there, surprised by the strength of Anthony Thomas.
Thomas, 7 carries, 88 yards. Of course, at the conclusion of the game, we'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. And in recognition of these athletes, Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. Third down now and 6 for the Wolverines. Brady with a deep drop. Got his man straight. Got it. Out of bounds at the 39, and a penalty comes flying as he goes out of bounds. Tack on some more yards. It was Lamar Marshall working on streets, and the yellow was flying.
You know, they talked about Tom Brady being a better long ball thrower than Brian Griese. Finally, on this young season, we're getting a look at it. Brady with great protection from his O-line, and a nice move by Streets as he pushes Hill aside. But look at how this ball is just laid out perfectly. Right in stride, out of bounds, and then the late hit by Marshall.
That is a wonderful replay from director Drew Esikoff and producer Bob Goodrich. Gives you an idea of a wide receiver working at the same time that a quarterback is, and you can watch them both. There isn't anything better than that. First down and 10 now. We're inside the 25. Brady's on the move. And here comes the A-train. Chugging along to the 21-yard line. He's closing in on 100 yards. Who's going to get there first? Cedric Irvin has rushed for 92. And now Thomas is at 90. And he'll come on out. There's his average for the day, largely because of that 69-yard burst for the touchdown. Now here is your passing situation, 2nd and 8. Let's see what the Wolverines elect to do. Streets goes off to the right, and Marshall will go over that side, and Knight goes into the slot now, and Hill's over there too. Short drop, wants a slot, deflected, incomplete. fired a little bit behind him, didn't he, Dan?
Well, he rushed it. As simple as that. He saw the blitz, and as a quarterback, when you see those defensive backs lined up about parallel in the secondary and concentrating on the receivers, and then you can feel the breath of those linebackers, and you see their eyes get real big, you know they're coming on a blitz. That quickens your pulse a little bit, and sometimes hurry your throw.
Now a defensive backfield without Amp Campbell, their best defensive back, out for the season. So the corners under pressure. The nickel man will move to the slot. It is third down. Here comes the safety blitz. They show it. Brady's going to back it up. Morris in his face, and it's incomplete and almost intercepted as Lamar Marshall dove for it in the end zone, but it was a safety blitz, and State showed it right from the beginning.
That safety was Eric Morris. We've seen him all over the field today. Interception. He recovered a fumble on a punt, and he's going to deliver a heck of a blow against the quarterback. And watch Marshall with a great effort just off his fingertips twice.
Field goal from Feely. It's a 38-yard attempt. He's been good on two of them. Perfect. So Jay Feely, a 22-yarder, 51, 45, and now 38. Timeout. Amp Campbell, as he watches his friend and replacement Lamar Marshall dive for what would have been an interception in the end zone. And it was several weeks ago. We were in Oregon. Amp Campbell at the goal line, up with a fierce tackle, but injured on the play and underwent neck fusion surgery out in Oregon. And his high school in Sarasota, Florida, honoring him by wearing his number. All of them wearing it on the back of their helmet. As we get ready now with Michigan ahead, 23-17, leading by 6 on 3 Feely field goals here today. And Haygood will take a knee. And speaking of Amp Campbell, let's go down to our colleague Jack Arute. Jack?
Well, Amp, first of all, how are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. As the week goes on, the days pass, and I'm feeling a lot better.
Now, what did you tell your replacement Lamar about this particular game, Amp?
I just told him just to go out and just give out what he got, because this is a big game. And he's a good player. He's been playing here a long time, so he knows what it takes to go out and win.
A lot of us want to know, what's the prognosis? Can you return to football?
I can return. Only thing is that I got to just pray that everything heals the way it's supposed to, and I have to wait a year if I want to play again.
Well, Brent, we talked to the physicians, and they say, hey, he can come back.
Wouldn't that be something if Amp was able to come back and eventually play? Burke on a short drop throws to a wide man, and Burris shakes a tackle because Peterson could not bring him down. He turns a loss into a short gain on the play. Larry Foote, the inside linebacker from Detroit, finally hustling over there to the far side.
Nick Saban's lucky he has a player like Lamar Marshall to move from safety to corner after the Campbell injury, but Marshall has tweener skills, they call it. He can play either position, and as you can see, playing it pretty well.
Can't say enough about Jay Feely. 51, 45, and 38 yards on those field goals. Second down and 10. Burke is going to throw under pressure, not going to get it off. He is sacked by Nate Miller, the senior nose man.
Only 3 sacks on the year for the Wolverines, and that's the first from the defensive line. The other 2 have come from defensive backs. After the play action from the right side, Miller is all over the quarterback after he tried to set his feet.
6-yard loss on the play. Leaves Burke here with third down and 16. 5. Now make it 6. They go to dime coverage against the 4 wideouts. Play fake, throw short, not going to do a thing. Going to have to punt as Haygood is tackled short of the 20-yard line. Won't get you much. Fizzell, the big house. And this, the bigger house this year. An NCAA record for a game on campus, 111,238.
Exactly. Not one more or one less.
Greg Jarrett. James Whitley going to try it again. Coaches were giving him a pretty good lecture. Up the middle they came against it, and he boomed it. Drives Whitley back. Fields it at the 26-yard line. Rule to his left. Searches for it. Slips and down at the 34-yard line. So Robert Smith, the All-American, fighting double and triple teams all day. We'll come back. Coaches like to say that 20 yards or more is a long play. Tom Brady's long pass of the day is 24 yards against the secondary. On the other side, Michigan holding up well against Bill Burke, 16 yards the longest pass play. A run on first down, Clarence Williams, and he explodes out to the 48-yard line. That's a fine 13-yard run for Williams on first down.
Here's Robert Smith right here, and there's the block by Tooman, and then the chip block by the fullback, Shea. That just opens a huge hole.
That's a tough day for Robert Smith. I have not seen him blocked by one man yet today. Now first down. Tom Brady trying to drive the Wolverines again. Backus ready. The tackle will lead the way. Stopped. Williams stutter steps outside and dives across midfield. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. MCI 5-cent Sundays. Pay the least on the day you call the most. Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. And Gap khakis.
Second down to 6.
Anthony Thomas checks in for Williams, who's carried 11 times for 55 yards, and Thomas 8 times for 90 yards. Play fake. Anthony buys Brady. Great time. Here's Knight all alone. First, no, fumble or incomplete. They wave it off. Oh, he should have had that ball.
That was a great throw by Tom Brady. And Marcus Knight will tell you, yeah, you're right, Fred. I should have caught that one. The running game is going so well, it's opening up the bootleg passing now. Knight is the inside receiver, 85, and watch the 3 or 4 white shirts converge as the ball comes. Canoe is behind him. He knocks the ball loose, but there are a couple of teammates. Eric Morris, number 9, there as well.
3rd and 6, and Michigan State might want to watch Jeremy Tooman. Shotgun Brady. Drops it outside to Thomas as a receiver. Thomas battling for the first down. It's going to be close. Inbounds, and he may be just a little bit short.
You certainly can't fault him for effort. He broke one tackle right after he caught the ball.
He appeared to be slipping too, didn't he, Dan, as he was going forward?
This field, during timeouts, they got the ground crew out here working on it, but it rained heavily this morning about 3 or 4 o'clock when a thunderstorm hit the area.
So Vincent comes in to punt, but there is number 33, Cedric Irvin. Saban searching for a big play on his return team if he can find it. High. Irvin fair catches this one at the 22, and they violated the 2-yard zone. Tough call in that situation. Well, I've said it over and over. When a player moves up on a fair catch, that is so tough on the coverage men.
Well, they have no idea where the ball is. That time Aaron Shea got too close to Irvin, but Irvin was just tracking the ball.
So a violation of the 2-yard belt on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Don't forget now, we've got 2 fine games coming your way. USC against Florida State from Tallahassee. And in the battle of the unbeatens, Brock Hewitt goes to work against Nebraska. It'll be the Washington Huskies, the last team to win in Lincoln. That was back in 1991. So after the penalty, that is only 17 net yards on that punt. And Burke with a great play fake, fires back. And the wide receiver incomplete on the ground. Burris had it on the ground. The official running at the reception had a good view, and he said Burris trapped the ball, so it will be 2nd and 10.
And we got a real good look at this one, too. Burris trying to get his hands underneath this ball, but watch his feet slip out. Good coverage by Pat Peterson that time. You know, in practice on Thursday, Burke threw that same type of pass, but threw it too high, and it was picked off by a redshirt freshman. Gary Tranquil got all over him. That time, Burke threw it on a line and came up a little short.
2nd and 10. Irvin, sweep left. Jones is blocked. Penalty flag comes down.
Yeah, they're going to get Laval, Richardson, Brent on the outside. A slow developing sweep play by Irvin, and Richardson was holding his block illegally. A lot of penalties in the second half for Michigan State.
And they did not have one in the first half.
Their first play of the second half was a delay of game. Talk about your omens.
Save it, and the Spartans down by 6. This will put you in a hole.
Well, I've got to apologize to Mr. Richardson. Illegal procedure and not holding against State.
There's only 6 men on the line of scrimmage on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
You can guess that Richardson wasn't on the line of scrimmage if you want.
Well, I've already blamed him for something he didn't do. You're trying to get me in more trouble. Thanks, partner.
2nd down and 15. 5:06. 5 defensive backs on the field. And William Peterson, the nickel man, has come over to the corner on the left side. Whitley takes the nickel man. They back off, and penalty flags come flying. They took too much time. So they are confusing Burke a little bit. They show man, especially on the slot man, and then as he begins his count, they'll slowly back it off, and it has bothered the quarterback a little bit here.
Prior to snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, down remains 2nd.
That is 7 penalties now in the 3rd quarter for the Spartans after going without 1 penalty in the first half.
And that was the true freshman, Paul Harker, left guard, just flinched.
Those are 2nd down and 20. To the middle, wide open. Burris has got it. He can move. Beats Whitley, and then Whitley grabs him by a shoe and brings him down, but he's only back to the original line of scrimmage. That's going to be a 3rd and about 10 yards here after a 10-yard gain by Burris.
Yeah, it's easy to pick him out. Here he is, number 4. He's 6'6". What I like on this play is after the catch, a lot of receivers think that they can outrun the defense and try to get more yardage that way. He turns upfield right there and picks up an extra 5.
Burris with 5 catches on the day for 41 yards. He's the leading receiver. 3rd down. And McFadden, a lone running back for the Spartans. Burke waits for an open man. Working backs Burris, he overthrew him. The zone had everybody covered that time, and a penalty flag comes late. Brackens was in on the quarterback. Let's see what this call is. Yep.
Well, Lloyd Carr said that one of the important things for his defense today would be to knock down Bill Burke as many times as possible, but all within the rules, obviously. Not
Roughing
this way.
the passer on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
Huge penalty. Fresh set of downs for Burke.
Brackens is number 51. The ball is gone, and the hit is real late.
No question about that one. Burke is 14 of 20 for 117 yards, 1 touchdown and no interceptions, but this Michigan zone is preventing the long, big play. The longest of the day is 16 yards. Irvin, nothing soft there for about a yard for Cedric, and Freisinger along with Peterson bring him down.
You know, we talked about all the changes. Michigan losing two great players off their defensive team of last year, Glenn Steele and Charles Woodson. And this defense really was affected by that. Their confidence has been just shot in the first 3 games of this season. This is a great effort they're putting forth today. And you see each play, they're gaining more confidence, preventing those big plays by Michigan State.
The State 42-yard line. Show blitz. Back out, and they got the guard to move. Something happened down in there again.
Well, it's the young freshman, Paul Harker.
Prior to snap, ball start, offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. The down remains second.
So Larry Foote, number 17, the inside linebacker, aggressively stepping into the gap, showing blitz, and he got the freshman to flinch. And it is now 2nd down and 14. So here's the young man setting back down. He's got to hold still now. Burris, may be a first down and may not. It'll depend on the spot.
And Burris is really coming along. We saw Ty Street use his leaping ability and reaching out and catching the ball. That was good coverage by Michigan that time, but Burris at 6'6", just physically takes the ball away from the defensive back. It's Weathers this time. Burris goes right to the down marker on his hook route. Burke throws it nice and high for him. And this is the result. First down.
And Tuesday night after Spin City, one of the new ABC comedy hits of the fall for the writer of A Few Good Men. Go behind the scenes of live television on Sports Night, Tuesday at 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC. Fresh set of downs on the first down. Plaxico Burris now with 6 catches for 55 yards. He's the leading receiver in the game, and his size giving Michigan some trouble as he sits down in the open spot in these zones. Weathers will go over to that side with him. He's up to the left. Burke sacked at the 45-yard line as James Hall comes unblocked.
Jim Herman says enough of that zone. I'm coming on the blitz. And I'm going to come right here with James Hall. Burke never has a chance as he's trying to hit the drag pattern off the bootleg.
Now 2nd down and 18, and you know Burke will be looking for Burris, who has been his big receiver. Haygood with 3 catches for 22, and Cedric 2 for 29. And we get another yellow flag.
And it's an illegal huddle. Too many men in the huddle against Michigan State. Cedric Irvin left the huddle way too late.
Prior to snap, an illegal substitution, 12 men in the huddle. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. The down remains second.
8 penalties now just in the 3rd quarter against Michigan State.
Old Bud Grant trick. That's why they changed the rules.
That's right.
Makes it 2nd down and 23. State must go the hard way. And Burris comes to the short side or near side of the field, down toward the bottom of your screen. William Peterson is the corner backing off on him. 2nd down. Burke looks back to the middle. Complete. And a big-time hit by Larry Foote, the linebacker.
And a big-time catch by Laval Richardson, taking that hit. Hanging on. Man, what a hit. Burke's having to move around a little bit more in this second half as Michigan State's offensive line is giving up a little bit of pressure here. Really keeps his wits about himself and throws a good pass. If that ball is not right on the money, Richardson won't hang on after that big hit.
Burke and the Spartans need 15 yards. Blitz is picked up. Penalty flag is thrown, and now Burke goes down. Has to get rid of it before that. And there is a penalty flag indicating probably holding as Sam Sword delivers the first blow.
That's one thing Gary Tranquil told me during the week, is that they cannot afford to get in third and obvious passing situations. Their pass protection just isn't good enough yet.
So Craig Jarrett.
That looks like holding to me. Casey Jensen holding Sam Sword.
Can't stop him even illegally. 4th sack today for the Wolverines. Burke with 35 yards in losses. And here comes the strong punter, Craig Jarrett. Under pressure again, and he whacks it. Whitley, fair catch at the 17-yard line. Let's go downstairs now to Jack Arute on the Michigan defense. Jack?
Well, Brent, Jim Herman said the first couple of games that they really missed Charles Woodson, not because of because he could cover so much ground, but also because of his leadership. Woodson's departure left a void there. But since then, Herman says Sword, Rennes have also stepped in, as well as Dahani Jones. He says those 3 players are now the on-the-field leaders for his defense. He said it took a while, but they're beginning to gel. And today, you can see it on the sidelines because they're very animated. When they come off on the sidelines, they're talking to each other and interfacing.
Thank you, Jack. 43 yards on that punt. Tom Brady with the Wolverines at the line of scrimmage. Play fake. There's the bootleg. Brady slips and he goes down. Couldn't regain his balance in time as the Spartans were in pursuit. Pete Govins was coming hard after the quarterback that time.
Not exactly Tom Brady's strength, moving around after the bootleg there. He slipped a couple of times on this field today.
As we come to the end of the 3rd quarter, 15 minutes of regulation left, with Michigan leading Michigan State by 6. And on the sidelines, the Wolverines coaching Whitley on what to do on the punts, demanding that the defense stand up and play tougher. We'll be right back.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
We start the 4th quarter. Jack Arute and Dan Fouts. I'm Brett Musburger. Michigan with the football and the lead. And here's Clarence Williams running out of bounds at the 24, but short of the first down. So bring up a 3rd down with Sori Kanu in pursuit for the Spartans.
What a luxury the Wolverines have in having Clarence Williams and Anthony Thomas.
Seaman is shaken up on the play. The difference, as far as total yardage is concerned, has been Anthony Thomas. He's returned 2 kickoffs for 74 yards, rushed for 90. He has 164 total yards here today. And he hasn't touched the ball all that much, but he is back on the field now. And he exploded early, catching the left sideline for a 45-yard kickoff return. And this, the big one.
69 yards outrunning the secondary. And Thomas only has 3 touches in that 3rd quarter.
So Michigan, because of the A-Train's effort, leading by 6 points is Jay Feely with 3 field goals. He's perfect from 51, 45, and 38. Nice day from him.
And with Zeman hurt, there's going to be more shuffling on that Michigan offensive line. They got Steve Hutchinson back. He went to left guard. Steve Frazier started at center, and now look for David Brandt to come in and take Zeman's spot at right guard.
There is Brandt as they do the juggling. Exactly what you said. They realign. They've got the A-Train. They've got a 3rd and 2. They put it in his hands. And he crosses the 25. This one's going to be very close. Spartans indicate that they might have held that time. Courtney Ledyard out of Shaker Heights, Ohio, stepping into that. And here comes Jay Vincent to punt for Michigan.
That's a huge defensive stand for State. That will give their offense momentum, and it'll give their offense good field position.
Cedric Irvin back again to return a punt. Picks up a low snap and gets off a high punt. Cedric's got it at the 31. Going to be driven out of bounds on that far side at the 39-yard line by Ray Jackson on that special team. We'll take a break. It's a 6-point game in the Big House. A look at how the two quarterbacks, Bill Burke and Tom Brady, compare here today. And now it will be Burke at the line of scrimmage with a first down. Pound ahead. And of course, the big man missing from the Michigan defense today is suspended safety Marcus Ray. A year ago at East Lansing, Ray intercepted not one, but 2 passes for the Wolverines as they picked off 6 overall. And now today, Dan, what's your feeling about the Michigan secondary replacing Ray here today?
Well, I think Patman and Hendricks are doing a good job. They're preventing any deep passes. They've given up a number of completions to Burke, but most of them have been held in front of them.
Second down and 9. We're going to go down right after this play and get an update about Marcus Ray and his status. The lid has been on that story. Burke with an awful lot of time, and now the defense breaks free. And Burke on the move, fires sideline pass, incomplete, out of bounds. And that gives us a second here. Jack Arute, the suspension was announced as indefinite for Marcus Ray. What are we hearing around Ann Arbor this weekend?
Well, Brent, they're actually in a total media lockdown. Nobody wants to talk about it, but the rumblings are that they should have a report out probably within the next week or so. But they feel like they've got some fairly hard evidence from the NCAA of a rumored illegal contact between Marcus Ray and an agent. Now, you can talk to agents. There's a certain contact. We'll tell you about it later.
Coming up to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 9. Burke from the shotgun. Blitzer coming, fires, middle deflection, incomplete, and almost intercepted on the rebound. Patman as Scott is down.
Well, Scott gets drilled here. Burke is forcing this ball over the middle. Burke makes a nice catch of a high snap here. But watch the zone here. Wheatley passes him off, and then the big hit right in the back. And that's why Scott is still on the ground.
So we've got an injured player. So, Jack, let's finish up now on this illegal contact, allegedly, with Marcus Ray, the safety.
And that's the allegation. I tried to contact Marcus's parents in Ohio. They've changed their number. We can't get a hold of Marcus. But one of the rumors that has been circulated, and there's some credence to it, is there was some peripheral interference or influence by Charles Woodson. Not by his agent, but there is the possibility that Woodson comes into the mix as a friend of Marcus Ray. But right now, the university is in a total media lockdown about the Marcus Ray situation.
And Michigan State punting, and of course, if the allegations are proved true, Marcus Ray would be done here in Ann Arbor. Booming punt. Going to go into the end zone with a little breeze in his back that is picked up. He whacks at 60 yards, and quarterback Tom Brady has been pretty efficient today. Made only one mistake. We'll be right back.
The Bowl Championship Series is online with live action, interviews, game highlights, and live polls on the web at ESPN.com.
We're back in pretty good days by Cedric Irvin and Anthony Thomas here, Dan.
Well, the big difference, though, is this average for Thomas. Now, if I were coaching, I'd give him the ball more.
Instead, they send Aaron Shea onto the field. They'll go one back with the Burley fullback here. 1st and 10. A couple of tight ends and wideouts, and they're going to throw that fade. And here goes Knight up over the top for the reception. A beautiful catch. Out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 20-yard gain over Ronaldo Hill. Jack Arute, what's new with the injuries?
Well, it seems that Gary Scott continues to injure a right forearm. The forearm has been injured before. I talked to the doctors, and they said they're not sure if they're going to be able to send him back out there. As far as the condition of Zeman, I'm on my way over to that sidelines. I'll give you that in a second.
Yeah, Jack, there is Zeman being carted off, too, as Anthony Thomas now checks in against his defense. He'll try to tire him up, and nothing doing. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. As soon as he entered the game, the Spartans were ready. Lamar Marshall, Austin. There's the big middle linebacker stepping right into that gap.
It's important for Austin to do exactly this. This is a run blitz. You see him coming with Sean Wright as well. They both had it read perfectly. That's a great call defensively for their coordinator, Chris Kosh. Both these coaching staffs know each other so well. It's a great chess match today.
Second down and 14 for Brady and the Wolverines. The fullback sends Thomas in motion by hitting his right hip. Brady under fire, going to run out of trouble. And well short of that first down. Well, ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Jeep, makers of the Jeep Grand Cherokee and Wrangler. Chili's, a proud sponsor of ABC College football. Fidelity Investments, where 12 million investors put their trust. And Valvoline, you can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. 11:50 to go in the big house. Largest on-campus crowd in the history of NCAA football, watching Michigan State. Michigan up by 6, 23-17 with a third down play. Going to throw the swing to Shea. Got acres of ground. Will he get it? Dive. Got it. First down, Michigan.
Wonderful job of reading the safety blitz by Tom Brady's rather, and he dumps it off here to Aaron Shea. That's just a great job of anticipating the safety blitz and then executing with a perfect pass. Tom Brady.
And a converted tight end, Aaron Shea, his receiver that time. The Wolverines cross midfield, spread it out a little bit. They'll move a running back, Williams, down toward the short side of the field. Ray Jackson also out there. Brady going deep. Night dive. Got it! Down at the 1-foot line. Holy cow, he looked like he had it all.
This is why we have instant replay. Again, it's a blitz by Michigan State. Watch the linebacker right come. Means it's man-to-man coverage in the middle of the field. And Wright's got it with a nice concentration. I think he got in. Now he definitely got in.
But Brady dives. Touchdown, Michigan. A delayed call, but finally the linesman throws his arms up in the air. And Tom Brady sneaks in for the touchdown. Daylight for the Wolverines.
2 plays in a row, the Spartans came after Brady with the blitz. He beat him with the swing pass to Shea. Then he beat him with the bomb to Marcus Knight.
The 48-yarder to Marcus, who now has caught 4 passes for 98 yards on the day. Marcus Knight, the leading receiver, and because of the score situation, Michigan opts to go for 2 points because of the sequencing.
And they better hurry because the play clock is under 10 seconds.
8 seconds now for Brady. Going for 2, up 12, looking for the tight end, covered. Brady rolls out of trouble, looking for somebody to get open. No. Intercepted, incomplete, waved off, no good. Campbell finally trying to work toward the back of the end zone, so the lead stays at 12, 29, 17. But it was a long pass to Marcus Knight that sets up the touchdown. Timeout. yards of that drive to Marcus Knight, wide receiver from Alabama. Once upon a time, thought about leaving Ann Arbor and returning home, but his mother convinced him otherwise, and he's glad he did this year. He's having a fine season as a wide receiver. He has now caught 18 passes, averaging better than 16 yards a catch. And Epstein to kick it off, and it'll blow off the tee.
And that's been the part of the Michigan offense that's been missing, the bomb. And we've seen Brady be very effective with it today, beating the blitz. He was a perfect 3 for 3 on that drive for 79 yards.
Suddenly opens, and Haygood with great speed is in a foot race. Haygood breaks free, and only the angle allows Michigan to save a touchdown as Todd Howard, the freshman from Bolingbrook, Illinois, comes from the angle and saves a touchdown by the wide man.
It's a nice high kick, but it's not very deep. Watch this hole open up right here. And now he's right to the kicker. That's no match. But Justin Fargas has got a lot of speed. He's just not a very good tackler. It takes a defensive back to bring down Haygood. 67 yards on the return for Herb Haygood, the redshirt freshman. And you can see the great vision the young man possesses as Burton quickly brings the Spartans to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10. From the 28, Spartans need a quick strike. Urban trying to turn the corner. Held to no gain by a swarming Wolverine defense, up by 12 points. The Spartans need a quick touchdown. Here's Jim Herman. He'll try to stop him. He's done a great job of scheming with this defensive backfield. That's the signal, folks. He wasn't looking for smoke signals out there. That's to the defensive backfield. They've done a great job of showing man, throwing up a zone. They've kept Michigan State off balance. They have swarmed to the football. They've kept Cedric Irvin under control except for one run. 18 carries, 94, but 40 yards on one run in the first half. Second and 10. Burke is back. Receivers are covered again. Sprints hard and throws incomplete. And it's going to be third down. One thing Herman talked about as far as his goals was concerned is holding Michigan State under 2 yards on first down rushes. And we're seeing a good example of why, when you do that, you're effective. That they held Irvin to no gain on first down in this series, and then they play good pass defense, almost a covered sack on Burke, force him to get out of the pocket and throw the ball away.
The nickel signal is made by the coach on the sideline. The extra defensive back now Brackens into the game also as a linebacker. Michigan State spreads it out on 3rd and 10. Burke needs time from his offensive line. Inside lateral, deflected incomplete. He was going to pick up Cedric Irvin, but he almost lateraled the ball to Fizzell.
It's a shuffle pass, and they're trying to get the ball to Irvin, trying to suck Fizzell up the field. That's a great play with the left hand. If he doesn't make that play, Irvin's got it, and he's got a lot of yards.
Down 12. You can still sequence a 3 in this situation with 9:45. Paul Ettinger. They'll put it down at about the 35, make it 34. It's going to be a 44-yard field goal attempt for Ettinger. Certainly far enough. No good. No good. A huge miss. Michigan State threatens and comes up empty. The Wolverines lead it by a dozen. Timeout. Bo Schembechler football is about to begin. 9:41, up a dozen. Need to bring the clock down and keep it moving. The A-train, Anthony Thomas, back in at running back. Rushed for 87 yards today. Here he is for a couple more before he stopped. Let us go back now and take a look at Tom Brady here, Dan.
Well, 79 of the 80 yards on the drive came through the air. First it's the fade to Marcus Knight, and then beating the blitz on 3rd and 10 with a swing pass to Aaron Shea. And I think he got cheated out of a touchdown on this next play to Marcus Knight as he sees the blitz again and beats it, and Knight scores.
Outstanding package from our associate directors, the Senator, Russell Brooks, and Fred King. Nice work down on that truck today, gentlemen. 2nd down and 8. And here comes Brady. Clarence Williams, the lone running back. They featured the toss play to him frequently. This time they'll hand it to him, and he'll cut away from the blockers, pick his way on a neat run to the 34-yard line as the clock continues ticking with Robert Smith, the All-American defensive end, making one of his rare tackles because he's usually fighting 2 or 3 men in maize and blue.
And what happened that time is the action came back to him.
And we got a word from Jackaroo down below that Seaman is out for the game because of that ankle injury. So that realigned offensive line that Dan Fouts told you about will try to take it the distance. Here's a 3rd down. Michigan would love to convert and keep the clock moving. And the Spartans desperately want to stop here at a quick strike. Shea, the converted tight end. Incomplete. Thrown at the feet of Ty Street. And Michigan forced to punt. Now remember, the Spartan team has been aggressive before and trying to get in on a punt. 8:04 to go. They're down by 12.
And the worst thing about that incompletion is it stopped the clock. Worst thing if you're this man.
Benson again. And Cedric Irvin. Up on the punt. Going to try to squeeze a few more out if he can. Crosses the 30, 35. Jitterbugs to the 39-yard line. So the Spartans are 61 yards away. And let us check in with John Saunders. John.
Well, Brent, don't forget, coming up next, USC at Florida State. No problem with Hurricane George, but Peter Warwick hopes he can rain all over USC. Some of you, though, will see a great matchup between Washington and Nebraska. Brock Huard knocked out of last year's game. It's coming up next. Brent.
All right, John, look forward to that action. A 12-yard return by Irvin on that punt. He's rushed for 94 yards here today. He's caught 2 passes for 29 more. He is behind Burke. Speed is of the essence for the Spartans, and they have not shown the big play here against this Wolverine defense this afternoon. Here's the pitch to Irvin on an option look, and ridden down by James Hall.
All right, now all Michigan has to do defensively is contain Michigan State. Keep playing the way they have been, mixing in the blitzes, but really paying attention to that big play and keeping Cedric Irvin in check.
Burke's longest pass play of the game is 16 yards. He has thrown 1 touchdown. That was to Burris. Burke back. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Lavelle Richardson.
And Gary Tranquil, the offensive coordinator, not going to be real happy about this last one here. Got to make more big plays than just one. And that goes right back to what we were just talking about, how well Jim Herman's secondary has played containing the 4 wide receiver set of Michigan State and the rushing attack of Cedric Irvin.
There's the young man who has provided that leadership here today, Tommy Hendricks, the fiery free safety, the junior, the 215-pounder. 3rd down and 8. Fires under through Burris, and it is a long 4th down, and that is 6 straight incompletions now for Bill Burke. Against that secondary, they have not missed Marcus Ray. Come to think about it, they haven't even missed Charles Woodson today. But I never thought I'd say that. This is a different, inspired defense here today. 7:09. Jarrett back in punt formation. 4th and 8. It's a short snap, fake punt, 1st down. The Spartans gamble. Michigan should have seen that one coming. Morris battling. Great run by Morris. Put him in at fullback.
He's done it all today. Intercepted a pass in the first quarter, recovered a fumble, and here he is right here as the personal protector. He's going to take the ball and just hit this hole right here. This is a great call by Nick Saban. And you know the head coach has to make these calls. Corey Sanu with the block that springs Morris and gets the first down.
A life. Can the Spartans take advantage? That is only their second play of more than 20 yards here today on a fake punt. And now it's Urban to dayline. For about 7 yards before he's finally brought down. Whitley is among the tacklers.
Jim Herman's goals so far, well, they are knocking the stuffing out of Cedric Urban, although he's real close to getting that 100-yard mark. But on that play, I would like to see him just run for that sideline. Don't try to cut back. Michigan's looking for the cutback route.
Those 8 yards he just ran for gave him 104 for the day on that last run. 2nd and 2. They come back with Urban. Urban battling toward the first down marker, and James Hall, the defender there. 6 minutes left on the clock. Michigan State with all 3 of its timeouts. The Wolverines with all 3 of theirs.
Well, they have to convert that great fake punt play. They didn't convert the great kickoff return by Haygood that went 67 yards. Last time they were here was when Haygood brought him here. They got nothing out of it.
Urban now with 107 yards and 21 carries and counting, as he did reach a first down that time. Split backs. Burke under pressure. Fires it incomplete for the sideline. He basically threw that ball away. And a reminder that if time permits, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. We'll have scores and highlights from across the country with John and Todd.
Nate Miller with good pressure that time, but we're seeing a totally different Bill Burke now. He's a lot less confident in his pass protection. He's not getting rid of the ball on rhythm, and he's trying to make plays when they're not there.
2nd down and 10. Burris and Haygood are his wide men. He's got time, but he can't find anybody, and now he's going to be sacked. Back at the 38-yard line, Nate Miller closing in again, brings him down, but Burke is taking too much time.
He looked to the left side of the field, couldn't find anybody, and by the time he spun around to the other side of the field, this pass protection was breaking down. There he is, looking out this way. Now back to the other side, and here comes number 60 with more pressure and another sack. And this one really hurts because it pushes him out of field goal range. They don't convert here.
That's the 2nd sack of the game for Miller. The Spartans probably thinking touchdown, down by 12, but they've got to get 20 yards to have a life. It is 3rd down and 20. Burris, the tall wide receiver, Weathers is well off him. Burke is looking the other way for Lavelle Richardson. Lavelle's going deep, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dwayne Patman, who replaced Marcus Ray today. At the 1-yard line, Dwayne Patman turns the lights out on the Spartans.
You know, it was 3rd and 20, and you've got to use that 4th down. So that means you don't have to go for the whole thing. Burke is going down the field the whole way. They should have been thinking about just picking up 10 yards on 3rd down and coming back on 4th down. This would not have been a completed pass because Richardson had stepped out of bounds. Watch number 7 as Peterson forces him to go out of bounds. No way he can come back on the field now and make a play on the ball.
And he steps out on the 1-yard line, leaving Michigan 99 yards in front of them and leaving the Spartan defense with a chance to attack. The lead is 12 for the Wolverines. The time is 4:44. Fumble on the snap, or did he just dive right straight ahead? Let's wait now for them to unpile it down there. That looks strange watching it from high above.
I think he just went with the quarterback sneak here.
Let me remind you, while we've got an opportunity on Monday Night Football on the ABC, it's right here in the neighborhood. The Silverdome, Tampa Bay, and Detroit. Barry Sanders and gang, Monday night on ABC. Second down. Let me take a look at this play again. I honestly thought that it was a bobble. You wouldn't have a quarterback sneak down here.
Well, you want to move off the line of scrimmage.
That's a fumble, boys.
But that definitely was a fumble. And a good job of recovering.
Now, that's the play they wanted. The tailback smashing right straight ahead, and that's Clarence Williams into that line. Clock moving down to 4 minutes.
It's not all that unusual to quarterback sneak when your quarterback has his own feet in the end zone. The one thing you don't want to do is take the ball back to a tailback who's lined up 7 yards deep in the end zone. What you don't count on, though, is your eagle eye seeing that fumble there from way up here.
We got a timeout by Michigan State. They'll use one and a chance to get the ball back. And we'll remind you, still some great college action coming up. We've got Florida State and USC. That game is down in Tallahassee. And many of you will see from Lincoln, Nebraska, the Washington Huskies and the Cornhuskers. Two good ones coming up next. Hard to believe the Seminoles are favored by that many down there, but everybody thinks they're going to rebound and come back strong. 4 minutes remain in this football game, and after this timeout, we'll have a 3rd and 9. The field, as Dan pointed out, it rained hard here in the middle of the night, and the field has been coming up in chunks here, especially in the second half, and we've seen a lot of players on both teams slipping and sliding.
See what they do with these groundkeepers is they measure their feet. If they got real big, wide feet, then they get to go out there and put the turf back down.
Can you get a scholarship, Michigan, over there? How about those spats? That'll help you.
I'm not sure that fashion statement will ever take off. Zippers on your shoes. My goodness.
Well, here's 3rd down now, and Anthony Thomas checks into the backfield. He'll get the call. Tries for the crease, and the Wolverines will be punting from their own end zone. 3:54. T.J. Turner up with the tackle. Well, a year ago, Dan, you and I did the Purdue victory over the Fighting Irish, but that one was in Lafayette, this one in South Bend. But Coach Tiller, he is a fine coach.
And that was before anybody had any idea what Coach Tiller and the Boilermakers were all about. They went and beat Notre Dame in a huge upset, but they went on to have a great season throwing the ball all over the field.
Well, next Saturday, we're going to be following these Wolverines to Iowa City. It'll be the second game of the doubleheader in the Midwest, right after Penn State, Ohio State. Then out west, Washington State, UCLA, Clemson, North Carolina, and ACC country. And in the Big 12, Colorado and OU coming up. So Michigan's special teams going over their blocking responsibilities. They fully expect Michigan State, a team which blocked a punt 2 weeks ago against Notre Dame, to come after this one in the end zone. Michigan State is left with only one timeout, but again, they're down by 12 points.
And again, Michigan State's had good field position here in the 4th quarter, and they have nothing to show for it.
Irvin standing at the 43-yard line behind Vincent LeView. Hangs one. Cedric got it at the 42. Sheds the first tackler. And got all he could to the 33-yard line with 3:40. The Michigan defense, you can't say enough about the job that they have done, putting intense pressure on Bill Burke. The best pass defense in the world, a quarterback on his back. Nothing equals that.
And that's really something they had to shore up, was that pass pressure. They played 3 games before today and only had 2 sacks, and both of them came from defensive backs.
Now 3:40 to go, and Burke looking for that quick strike. Fires it to Irvin. Irvin down the right sideline. Irvin out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That is coming up next. 29-17 in the Battle of Michigan. Coach Herman there on the sideline gave up that swing pass. Spartans inside the 15-yard line, looking for a quick strike and an onside kick. Burke being pursued, fires high and incomplete. Couldn't see Burris, who looked to me like he was open a little bit.
Well, that's a problem with the moving pocket, is you don't have the same rhythm. And you just don't know what the quarterback is seeing, because there's defensive guys that are rolling out with him. And Burris was on a hook pattern that time, but when he was open, Burke didn't see it. Here's the hook pattern by Plaxico Burris. And there he is open. Now he sees his quarterback still hasn't thrown the ball, so he's breaking for the open area.
Haygood is in the slot on the second down. The blitzer foot is got it read perfectly. He knew that Burke, a left-handed passer, was going to come right toward him, and Larry Foote just stepped up and said, "How do you do?"
Spartans were trying to run that shuffle pass again, and now Burke is forced to use his final timeout of the game. He's shaken up a little bit too, but he was trying to shuffle the ball forward to Cedric Irvin, but the blitz by Larry Foote absolutely destroyed this play. It's an inverted option play, if you will. They come down the line of the scrimmage. That would have been a forward pass, but the blitz by Foote is a great call again by Jim Herman.
Going to the well once too often.
So we talked about the familiarity of both of these coaching staffs, and you get into a certain rhythm sometimes, and you just get into the other guy's head, and you know what's coming by their personnel and by their alignment. And that time, the unusual thing is that Burke is a left-handed passer. Normally, you run the shuffle pass with your throwing hand. He was going to shuffle it forward with his right hand that time, if it wasn't for Foote.
Third down and 19 yards to go.
And a long day for Bill Burke, especially in the second half. Totally different pressure in the second half applied by Michigan as there was in the first half.
He's been on the seat of his pants a lot here today against this Michigan defense. And here's 3rd and 19 at the 3:09 mark. Here's Burke. Middle. Incomplete, 4th down.
Now, the one time he gets good pass protection here, he's just going to throw it a little bit too low for Herb Haygood. Another foot, and that's a touchdown for Michigan State. Now, if you've got a guy 6'6" and you need a touchdown, throw him the ball. Let Plaxico Burris go down the sideline against the smaller defensive backs and let him jump for it.
Here's Burke in trouble. Sprints left. You have to run all day to get a first down. Michigan takes over on downs. Not a chance in the world. The young man had to fire it in that situation.
William Peterson is covering Plaxico Burris, but William Peterson is 6 inches shorter than Plaxico Burris. Burke is looking to the other side of the field. Now he's coming to this side. This is where you just let it go. Put it up in the end zone. So you couldn't ask for anything better than this. One-on-one with a guy a half a foot taller.
Tom Brady, he's quarterback. The Wolverines, the distance here today. For the first time, he has not given up a snap to the freshman. He's 15 of 26. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His long pass, 48 yards tonight. Williams battles and keeps the clock running. We've had some great stats today. Our stats man, Joe Sullivan, and on computer stats, Anthony Holman, and of course our spotter as usual, Brian. I am a very happy Wolverine mobile suit.
Michigama.
There you are.
I know it's a secret, but I just can't keep it secret.
Come on, come on.
Spartans need that ball back. 2nd down and 10. Here's Brady on a handoff now to Williams. Williams at the corner for the 1st down and knocked out of bounds, which stops the clock. There is a penalty flag on the play also. So it'll come on back because of that holding call with 2:06 to go. Then we will send the rest of you on along to our doubleheader game here today.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 2nd down.
And a lot of this crew will just stay in the neighborhood that we've had here today. Our fine technical crew, and we'll work the Monday night game with Detroit hosting Tampa Bay. And, of course, our TD in charge of everything down there today, Doug Schmidt. The only TD I know who flies his own airplane, ladies and gentlemen, but he's never given me a lift. I don't get it. Nice job down there, Doug, and the cameraman and everybody else. Production manager, Beth Giuliani. Technical manager, Jim Licata. As Williams goes to work on that clock. Inside of 2 minutes now, and the clock moving before the largest crowd in the history of college football on campus.
The Detroit Lions are here even, huh?
I knew it wasn't a Wolverine. And there are Chevy players of the game. Cedric Irvin played hard. Michigan defense did a fine job on him, too. Tom Brady, the quarterback from Michigan here. 15 of 26 for 208 yards.
And an excellent 2nd half.
Now on 3rd down, Michigan State out of timeouts. The A-train for the marker. He's got it.
Somebody's got to tell the A-train, though, to stay in bounds. Don't run off the track. That just gives the fans a little more reason to cheer and a little extra time to cheer, huh?
Stay and cheer and leave those streets open. And Saban and the Spartans are about to go to 1-3 and now face an uphill battle. As we said at the top of the broadcast, it's a fresh season for the winner here today. And that's the Michigan Wolverines. It's the Big Ten. It's the opener. Lloyd Carr and his staff disposed of an old rival. They beat a tough Michigan State. 29-17. Win by 12 points. And now they can start thinking about the Penn States and the Ohio States and the Purdues and the Wisconsins and the rest of the Big Ten. A fresh set of cards, and meanwhile Saban and the Spartans retreat to the drawing boards. It's uphill now for Michigan State. Off to a sluggish start.
And I think Lloyd Carr answered some questions about his defense, Brent, especially in the 2nd half, shutting down the wide-open offense of Michigan State and the fine running back, Cedric Irvin. No points in the 2nd half for Michigan State.
Two fine coaches, Saban and Carr. The Battle of Michigan is over again, and the Wolverines win it 29-17. Stay tuned now. Florida State, USC, or Washington, Nebraska. The Wolverines win it. So long, everybody.